it. Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal vacation, unnecessary sedation. You wanna feel at home, 'cause you belong.
Singing along isn't just accepted, it's encouraged. Encouraged. Just not too loud. Thank you for your cooperation. Kaoticradio.com.
The Black Lung, the Black Lung Show, 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 and starting fucking now.
That's right. You're listening to the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com. I'm your host, Ryan Pena. I'm joined in studio, as always, by my punk rock and roll brother, Dutchie the punk rock DJ. Dutchie, how you feeling, man? What happened? Can't hear you.
It's just, man, I'm new at this. Couldn't be better, man. Couldn't be fucking better.
You feeling better from last week? Last week we didn't do a show, and I know you were.
Yeah, it's going around.
Yeah.
But I've had a dozen bottles of wine since then, and I'm getting recovered.
Nice.
I'm on the road.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Church of Rock and Roll, the Black Lung Show. We've got some very, very interesting guests. I'm really excited about today's show. I know a lot of you guys are. Dutchie, when you tagged us in the post for today's photo, a lot of people didn't actually believe that we were going to have these guys in studio, which is, I'm stoked. I love having guests in studio. You know, we do call-in interviews all the time, but it's much more fun and much more interactive to sit here and have a couple of beers.
Yeah, and you know what? You bring some in, don't you?
Yeah.
You bring some of the ones in where people go, what the fuck?
Right.
You know, and I think this one is one of the bands that does that to people.
Yeah.
You know, when you read about them, when you know the history of the band, and you go, wow, they're coming into Chaotic. Yeah, you know, we've been lucky, but it's one of those bands where people sit up and take notice.
That's right.
It's a band you want to fucking listen to.
That's right.
You know.
So anyway, without further ado, and we got the YouTube thing streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming, yeah.
All right, fellas. So we got cameras over there, the cameras over there, behind us. So it's a big 360 thing. So everybody wave and say hi. And then you want to talk into the microphone like right there. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell everyone? Let me introduce you first. In studio is a legendary rock and roll band. Infamous, I think would be a good word, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Black Lung Show, the motherfucking Mentors. How you guys doing?
Hey, doing great, Ryan. Thanks for having us over.
Or motherfucking.
That's how I got to introduce you. Is that how you get introduced when you guys play live? Or no one just says shit, you just jump on stage and just tear it up?
Oh, it could work a lot of different ways.
All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't you guys please talk right into that mic.
Right into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. So why don't we do the introductions right now? So this way you can tell everybody who's watching or listening. And if you guys want to call in and talk to myself or Dutchie the Punk Rock DJ or my esteemed guests, the call-in number is area code 909-360-8330. If an angry Englishman answers the phone, that's the right place. Trust me. Don't hang up. Go ahead. Let's start right here in front of you.
Hi, how you doing, man? My name's Steve Broy. I'm also known as Dr. Heathen Scum, founding member of the Mentors.
All right.
This is Adam Morris. He plays guitar with us.
Yeah, you can call me whatever you want if you're providing the beer and the weed.
So what do you go? What do you go by on stage?
You just call him Adam Morris.
Adam Moore's?
He
Yeah,
calls
that's
me
his-
something different from
that's
night
his-
to night, just depending on his mood.
Okay. So he plays guitar, and I'm sorry, what you're singing out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So we're gonna have to do the whole history thing so everyone can get up to speed with the band, because you guys have been around for a long time. When you guys started, what, 76?
Yeah, we're playing together a couple years before that, but not as the Mentors.
And you guys were starting off up in Seattle, is that right?
Yeah, we grew up in Seattle, started playing together up there.
All right. What was the scene like back then? Because we talk about this stuff all the time on the show because Dutchie's from England, obviously, and he's talking about we talk about the early beginnings of punk rock in the 70s and stuff. And so I guess my question is, like, when you guys first started playing, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of hard heavy bands, were there?
No, it was very difficult when we first started because Seattle was a big copy band center. All the musicians would do 4 sets a night in bars and play covers and stuff. Like bands like Heart were popular, but the problem was you had to be 21 and over to play the bars, and we were too young for that. So we first started just renting out VFW halls and playing stuff like that, IOFF halls.
Okay.
That was the only place we could play. But then, you mentioned punk rock. We started right at the beginning of punk rock. So the Sex Pistols would come out. That was kind of influential on us. Just the idea of, that kind of graphic on the posters. We'd cut out letters from the newspapers and paste them together and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, like random, ransom notes, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But then there was a club that opened there. I think around that time the Sex Pistols came out everywhere in the country, at least in the West Coast. There was one quote-unquote punk rock club in every city. So I'm trying to remember the name of the place in Frisco that was popular. But in Seattle there was a place called The Bird.
Okay.
That was a quote-unquote punk rock club. So we started to play there. In fact, you can find a video of us playing there on Vimeo.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, one of our first shows was at that place.
So, okay, so I guess my next question is, I usually don't ask people about their influences, but since you guys started before the scene happened, you just mentioned the Sex Pistols, but I guess for me growing up, you can look at bands and listen to them, and you can kind of hear who they're trying to sound like, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, you hear like a little bit of ska punk, and you're like, okay, you obviously listen to Rancid. You guys didn't have a whole lot of other bands to go off of, did you?
Well,
my question is, who were you listening to and influeed by in the beginning? Was it like Alice Cooper? Was it T-Rex? Any stuff like that?
Well, just like Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, Kiss, stuff like that. 70s rock.
Okay.
Foghat. Just stuff like that.
Boring shit. Which is no, I say that because we were listening. Yeah, I was listening to T-Rex and all that shit, but there was nothing fucking that stood out that just got you fucking going.
Did you like T-Rex?
I fucking love T-Rex. I love T-Rex and Slade and fucking all those glam bands from the UK, and then I like Sparks, who are from LA, and all that kind of shit. But it wasn't until, and you're right. I mean, in England, as a fucking 14-year-old, the Pistols exploded because of a TV show, and it wasn't the music you heard first. It was reading about them in the paper and seeing the clothes and the spiky hair. And we were at school, and then a year later, punk exploded. Musically, it exploded, and then we went with it,
Yeah.
And we're 14-year-old school kids, and we want to play guitars all of a sudden.
Ah, I see.
So how old were you guys when you first started playing?
I was probably around 10 years old, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all the guys in the band, the founding members, El Duce and Sicky. I've known Sicky since we were in 7th grade together. And El Duce, or his real name is Eldon Hoke, we went to the same elementary school together. And he started playing drums very young.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the drum class that they had at elementary school that I had. And, they instead of giving you a drum set, they give you this little thing called a practice pad and a couple of sticks. And you got to play that for like 2 or 3 years before they even think of giving you a snare drum or anything. So I had no patience for that. I wanted to play drums. And I never have gotten anywhere near being able to play drums all the years I've been playing rock. But he got real good at it right away and was wound up in the Seattle Youth Symphony and doing all kind of crazy drum stuff.
Wow.
So he was a good musician as a drummer. Sicky was playing guitar pretty young too.
So when you guys first started off, you said you had was it a different band and then you became the Mentors?
Yeah. We initially called it the Eldon Hope Band for no reason. I don't know why.
All right. So then my next question would be then obviously, how did you guys come up with the name The Mentors? Is there anything like behind the name or just sounded cool? Like we're going to be the Mentors?
I think it was a term that we used to use amongst our social set. We'd say so-and-so mentored somebody into doing something. It was a kind of a verb, to mentor.
Okay.
That's kind of how it wound up that way.
It sounds like a name for such a sweet band. Right? The Mentors, we all fucking help each other. And
Actually, I think there's a couple of bands floating around, if you Google it, that are called the Mentors also, that apparently don't know about us.
Well,
I've stumbled across them a couple times, like some Christian rock group or something.
wow.
Exactly. Yeah. See, but that's what the name puts out. I mean, immediately when we talk about people who are our mentors, they're the people who are fucking nice. They're the people who influence us in a good way in life.
Right.
And the fucking last thing that your band did, and you can take it whatever fucking way you want, was mentor people into a nice fucking place where mummy and daddy loved their kids.
Yeah, well, we're not doing that.
So, God, there's just so much to ask you, man. With a name like the Mentors, did you have a lot of times like when you get booked for a gig and you show up and the booking agent or the club owner is just like his eyes are fucking huge and just going, what the fuck did we do?
Yeah, we had that reaction a lot initially. Yeah,
I can imagine so, because I mean, you hear bands like the Dayglow Abortions or the Exploding Fuck Dolls, or bands with names that just, oh, okay, I think I know what they're about, and the Mentors show up and just destroy the place. I mean, was it?
They would tell us to stop, kick us out.
That happened a lot.
Yeah, we'd get thrown out, and lots of times we'd get paid not to play.
Wow, paid not to play.
Yeah.
That's a great thing, because there's a theme on my show. It's fuck pay to play. I hate that whole scene where promoters now are making guys sell tickets to play with bands, and you got paid not to play. That's amazing.
I started out with that pay to play shit actually, and I can just attribute that to a lot of the promoters' laziness. They just don't want to go out and promote their own fucking shows.
Well, the problem,
Yeah.
what really happened was in the 80s, there's so many bands moved to California to make it big.
Right.
So it was a lot of supply and demand. There was more bands than there was clubs to play. So that's really what caused it.
Well, yeah, but I think when I first started playing in the '90s, and back then, I mean, you might do a battle of bands and sell some tickets so the club can see what you sound like, and you can bring some people in after that. They'd be like, "All right, cool, man, we'll put you on some shows." But nowadays, it's like everything is pay to play, and it's really tough nowadays. I mean, I was just on the phone the other day. The Dickies are playing down here in the IE at a place in Colton, so I just randomly got on the phone, called the promoter, and was like, "Hey, my name is Ryan, I'm singer for Something Ferocious."
The Hub, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
We played there recently.
Have you?
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they probably made bands sell tickets to play with you. Did they? Do you know?
You know what? I wouldn't doubt that. I can't confirm that, but I don't know.
Right. Well, anyway, not to put anybody on blast, but fuck them, man. I called them and I said, "Hey, man, I'm interested in playing. I'll help promote the show." And they're like, "Well, you got to sell tickets." I'm like, "For what?" I'm like, "I know you got to pay the Dickies." I'm like, "But if you're paying a band, they should bring the people." Is what I think.
Yeah, and then one of the worst side effects to that whole thing is when you have friends and family that will say, "Well, I'll buy a ticket to support the band, but I can't make it to the show." It's like, well, you're not supporting the band at all. You're supporting the promoter and his laziness, because when it all comes down to it, the band still has to pay for that gas money.
Yeah.
Just to play a lot of the clubs in Hollywood, you still have to pay to park, even if you're headlining the fucking event. So it's just a big clusterfuck.
Well, plus, when you get older too, and you've been doing it for a long time, you know what I mean? It's embarrassing, Like in high school, I'd sell tickets when I first started, because you have friends. I'm old, I got kids, I don't got any friends now except for my band and Dutchie. That's it.
Welcome to the club, man.
I'm your co-host, not your fucking friend.
God damn it, Dutchie. told me we were friends. You told me we were friends when I bought you that 6-pack of
That's
cider.
very true. Yeah.
All right.
Well, playing with the mentors
that's
weeds
a
out
big
your friends in a
scam.
hurry.
I remember when that first started happening around the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, maybe late 80s. You start getting offers for that in California. Well, you guys want to headline the such and such club? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll come over and I'll give you the tickets. You got to pay. What? What are you talking about? No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's
Because we were big enough at that point where we could avoid that all bullshit.
no, that's good. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's tough nowadays for bands. So anyway, that promoter told me the same thing. He was like, well, you just got to sell some tickets. I'm like, for what? You know. Anyway, so I don't support that kind of shit anyway. But anyway, with the mentors, let's do this. So the whole point of me doing this show, like I said, I'm a musician myself, right? And I've been playing in bands forever. And I'm going on my 3rd year now with the Black Lung Show. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for supporting. You can also like the Facebook page at facebook.com/Black Lung Show. My whole point of this show is show love to other bands, help promote bands, help promote shows, not the shows that pay to play and all that shit, but help my friends, interview them, give them some radio airtime. You know what I mean? Because you don't hear good rock and roll bands on terrestrial radio. You know, you turn it in your rock station, it's Guns N' Roses and Metallica on a loop. You know,
Right.
So I try to show people some of the bands that I grew up listening to. Like I said, we've had the Dayglow Abortions in here, Channel 3. Dutchy has 2 shows here.
No, Channel 3 was like ex-TOL guys or something, right? Wasn't there some connection with TSOL?
They played a lot of shows together. Channel 3 was pretty much, I don't know.
I sort of remember that having one guy in that band or something. I remember playing with them at the cafe a couple times, if I'm not mistaken. Channel 3.
They might have. But how about this? I want the listening audience to know who we're talking to, the mentors. If you don't know, you will by the end of the show. You guys have a lot of music over the years. Let's play a track first, so this way we can play some of your music and they can get an idea. Is there any certain track that you think would be...
Well, there's one we just started playing recently, which we hadn't played for 30 years.
Wow.
Adam's new to the group, so he never played it before. It's called Judgment Day off of You Asked For It.
All right. While Dutchy looks for that. Oh, you got it already? He's fucking... See, you are good at this job. You guys are listening to the Black Lung Show. Here are my guests, the motherfucking mentors. This is chaoticradio.com.
Yeah. Get on it. Listen, everybody, to what I say. Hallelujah, it's Judgment Day. Cakes and parties every day. Mentors are here to stay. I love the way your head hangs like a bowling ball tied to spaghetti. Because when I hack it, I'm gonna do it with a rustic machete. Watch out, all creeps and all you fags. Listen to me, whips, whip those shags. Being faggy and looking like a bitch, you'll be shot and dumped in a ditch. All you new wavers on the block, I'm gonna follow your sister when I rock. Oh, baby, be a lay. Come on now, it's your judgment day. Judgment day. Mentors are here. All the way. that looks sissy like a peacock. All you lesbians with your leathered spikes, all you are lesbians and dykes. Put on your combat boots and hike, 'cause you're just another dingbat dyke. It's Judgment Day. It's here to stay. Yeah, every day. It's Judgment All you faggots, this is what I have to say. Cut off your heads, kill every day. I don't care, my buddies, they're not afraid. They don't want to get no herpes or no AIDS. Come on now, we don't want to fall like Rome and become another home and be gay. Kill them every day. Flag flashing all the way. I wanna kiss pain. No more sickness, no more AIDS. No more faggots to be beaten up every day. Hallelujah, we're here to stay. Mentor all the way.
That was the motherfucking Mentors. That song was 30 years old. That's old. That song's older than most of the listening audience that I have on the show, by the way.
Yeah.
I just gotta say it. But we're talking off air, and we were joking about our ages and stuff like that. But I realized something is that when sometimes my kids call me old and stuff like that because I got a bunch of teenagers in the house, and I just don't fucking feel it, man. I feel it in my back and my knees and shit, but not in my heart. I still love getting on stage and tearing it up.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I got some problems just picking up stuff off the ground without spraying in my back, that kind of thing. I really got to watch it.
All right.
Make sudden movements, it causes a problem, so I got to walk real slow.
That's the one sign I feel about getting older, man. Is like sometimes you just wake up and you fuck yourself up just by sleeping wrong and you can't turn your neck.
Yeah, but we were fucking like that when we were 25. That's not we blame age now, right? We do.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're getting older, simple as that. But fucking forget about it, dude. Get it the fuck out. I can still go to the fridge, can still grab my vino, can still play in my band, can still do my B-side. I went for a fucking run today. We ain't dead yet, brother.
That's
don't
right.
Go
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Don't go there.
right.
Well, I was going to go there. Is that why I love the old bands that are coming back now, and I love that the kids are getting interested in the old bands. We got Sham 69's playing, GBH is playing, the Mentors are still playing, and it's great seeing that because it's all the good music is still around, and I hope and I see it making a comeback. You guys see that too?
For us, it's been more or less a steady kind of low level thing. I wouldn't say it's for our band that's making a quote unquote comeback.
As far as the old bands coming back, there's probably a demand for it because there's nobody new coming out that's worth a shit,
That's a big problem.
All right, that's a good way. Not only making a comeback, because I know you guys took some hiatuses, and then you guys have been playing. You guys have a lot of records. Anyway, back to where we were at before we played the song. So you guys started off fucking shit up in Seattle.
Yeah.
When did you guys decide you were going to move down to California?
Really about a year later, because we run out of places to play. Just renting these hall things was fun, but a lot of hassle. And we wanted to play more. And then there was a bigger scene in San Francisco in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember where they would all play. Oh, it was in Mabuhay Gardens. That was it. That was the name of the place. And so that was kind of like the epicenter of West Coast punk rock. So initially we thought we'd move down there because the idea was we'd get a house or apartment, all live together and play all the time.
That sounds like a great idea.
But then we decided to come to L.A. instead of Frisco because El Duce, the drummer guy, had played before with these guys that was in a band called the Screamers.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was at the time was the biggest band in L.A. So we thought we would be able to come down here and slide right in with the Screamers, which didn't wind up happening.
Why is that?
Well, we came down and then they said initially they said, "Oh yeah, we'll get you guys all these gigs and stuff," because Eldon had played drums with them when they were called the Tupperwares in Seattle. They were originally from Seattle, and then we come down here and then they were saying, "Well, we're going to take all of a sudden we're going to take some time off and make some movie or some stuff." Mm-hmm. You know, because I guess they just thought they went as far as they could go in L.A. without doing something else. So they kind of pawned us off on X. They said, well, there's this other band, X. They'll help you out. So we called up the John Doe guy, and I think he had been sort of forewarned about the content of what we were doing, and he was not interested in helping us out at all. So we were stuck in L.A., and with it was kind of tough sledding there for a couple of years, finding places to play. There was a place called King's Palace that we wound up playing, which was later became Raji's, which was a famous place. A lot of people played Raji's. I remember playing at King's Palace, I think, with the band Berlin and Wall of Voodoo, and it was like nobody there. You know, it was us, Wall of Voodoo, and Berlin.
Wow.
Did you get to do the Cuckoo's Nest and all that kind of stuff?
There.
You know,
Club 88 was another place that people would play when there was nowhere else to play. Also, Madame Wong's.
Yeah,
yeah,
that came later. The Mask and Cafe and all that.
When
stuff.
did you find you went all of a sudden from playing to nobody, all of a sudden be in this fucking band where people wanted to see you?
Well, it was kind of a very slow process. It's kind of built very gradually. So you didn't really, the thing that was a big kick in the ass was when we got that PMRC thing that happened. We were named as the most notorious, dirtiest band ever. You know, that really was like a shot of crystal meth straight to the heart.
Oh, you got to love it.
No, really, because you start getting fan mail like by the bushel and stuff. I mean, it was crazy.
And bombs in the mail and shit.
I never got that. I think somebody did send a bag of shit or some dead roaches and stuff. Had people like that.
Now, I was reading, real quick, what's with the Executioner's Mask? And did that last for long, or was that fucking there and then gone?
No, we still do it.
You still do it?
Oh, yeah.
And is that something you don't? Do you do it throughout the show, or do those fucking things come off? Because it must be fucking, you know.
No, you would try to have it on the whole time.
That must make it tough.
Well, it depends on where the holes are and stuff. I mean, sometimes it can be a problem, but it's part of the image of the group.
So how did you?
I love that.
So where did you guys decide that you were going to go this way with the band? Because you guys you're constantly being called like the kings of sleaze rock. You know, you influenced, you know, you influenced bands like GG and the Murder Junkies. You influenced a lot of these, the term sleaze rock. Did you guys just sit around one day and just decide, hey, we're gonna have fun with it, and then, you know? Because I want to get to that controversy too, you know, with the whole typical Gore thing. But how did you guys decide that you guys were going to do that, and it just kind of became a thing with the Executioner, you know, theme, the mask and everything, the hoods.
Well, I think when we first when we got out of high school, you know, we didn't really know what the hell we were doing. None of us really had any clue on what to do, but we were hanging out together, and I had bought a 4-track recorder, you know, this old reel-to-reel thing. Mm-hmm. A TIAC 2340 model, and you could overdub on that. So me and Eldon especially, well, and Sicky, of course, was there too, but we would get drunk and smoke pot and make up songs, and then we were trying to find a singer for a while, but we really couldn't click with anybody that was as hardcore into trying to make it as we were. So just out of necessity and nobody else singing on these little tapes we'd make for our own amusement, we'd have Eldon sing. And then we go, okay, well, this is really good, you know, like what he was doing. We kind of, I don't know, because of the influence of the Sex Pistols, we thought, you know, we were kind of pushing toward being controversial.
Okay.
So there was some aspect of us intentionally going that way, but it was a little bit more just making music for our own amusement. And then we'd tell Eldon, well, you should just sing. Just sing these songs that we're writing yourself instead of trying to find some other knucklehead to do it. And he initially didn't want to do it because he claimed it was too hard to sing and play drums at the same time. But then he kind of took to it like fish like water after a while and became very, that personality that he had where he'd get drunk and say all kind of crazy shit. I remember one time we did a gig somewhere in Seattle, and this is one of our, probably the first or second or third show or something like that. And, you know, we went out there with the hoods and the dirty lyrics and stuff. And I think he was still a little not completely comfortable with doing it, but he wound up sticking around after the show and talking on the microphone to whoever was still there until like 4 or 5 in the morning. I wound up going home, going to sleep, but people go, yeah, you really went crazy all night long saying all kind of funny and crazy shit. So that's kind of how it happened.
Wow, trip out. So, everybody listening, if you guys want to call in, you guys have any questions, our call-in number is area code 909-360-8330. We're here in studio, Dutchie the Punk Rock DJ, myself, and the Mentors. So, obviously, El Duce is not with us anymore, and there's only 2 of you guys in the studio. So, who else is in the band right now? I know you've gone through some member changes and some.
Yeah, well, the original guitarist Sicky is still a band member. He lives in Indiana, so he's only comes out for long tours and stuff. So,
okay.
Locally, we use Adam, this other guy named Cousin Fister, who lives up north, and for drums, we use what do he like to call himself? He's got different names. He calls himself El Chapo now.
El Chapo.
Yes, because he's of Hispanic background, so he.
Orale.
Wants to identify with his people through that name.
That should do it right there.
And then we got this other guy named, we call him the Italian Stallion, but his real name is Manuel Galati. He's out of Trieste, Italy, and he comes over and plays long tours with us and does European stuff. So there's a bunch of people that keep it going, but the 2 guys, the original founding guys, are still there, Sicky and myself.
Okay. So, I was thinking about this when I've shared this story, I think, a couple times on air when I was talking about other bands that were on the flyer. The very first time, I didn't hear about you guys until I was in high school, like in the early 90s. And I remember it was because it was the weirdest shit that happened. I was really fucked up, by the way, too. And I was driving to my prom, and I guess because I guess because I had dyed hair.
And this is what year?
95. And I was driving to Long Beach. We had our prom on the Queen Mary, and me and my friends, we were blasted, and we were driving down the freeway. Oh, we got a call already? All right, I'll get back to the story in a second. Go ahead. Let's turn the phone off. Hello, caller. You're on. Sounds like shit.
See if they're there now.
Are you there, caller? Hello?
No, they hung up just as I fucking took the call. Fuck them.
All right. Well, call back.
If they call back, we'll be ready for them.
All right. I got you. Anyway, we're driving to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, and I just happened to just like kind of glance over, and some punk rocker is leaning out of his car, handing me a flyer, and it was for the Mentors, and it was the Mentors, and I think you guys and the Spooky, and might have been Mad Parade. I can't remember. It was that. That was the first time I seen it, and I remember it because it was the 4 hoods, and it said the Mentors on there, and then
this is 95.
95 when I got that flyer on the freeway. I don't know. It was the show I remember because I ended up playing for the guy later was what's the king of pay to play, Joe Schultz. The show.
He's just mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, so it was one of his shows because all his flyers always look the same. They had the same pattern for booking. Call 714, go to hell or whatever the fuck it was. but
I know I actually have the number memorized, and I'm not going to repeat it.
right. Oh, that
He doesn't need that plug.
no. We don't. That's he who cannot be. Well, no, I put people on blast now. I used to only keep the show positive before, but I want bands to stay away from people like that. But let's talk about this because this is funny as hell, Dutchie. And if you haven't seen it, Dutchie, and everybody listening, go to YouTube and you can find out what I'm talking about. First time, that was it. That was the first time I got you guys on a flyer. First time I ever saw the Mentors was not live at a show. It was Mr. El Duce himself on the Jerry Springer Show. Now, here's the funny part about this. You guys watch Jerry Springer now, too, and you know who I'm talking about, Dutchie, right? Jerry Springer?
Yeah, of course we do, yeah.
All right. Well, no, here's the
I've been here 26 years. Just because I got an English accent doesn't mean I'm fucking stupid.
Well, the funny part about this is that Jerry Springer actually had a talk show before it turned into that fucking fiasco that he has now, right? It's just fucking psychotic now. Like, all it is just, people fighting on stage and I fucked your boyfriend and I'm really a dude and,
He just ripped off Wally George anyway.
Yeah, it was, but before, like, it was back, like, more like, what were the other
Geraldo.
Yeah, Geraldo and the other dude with the white hair. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Yeah, we know you mean.
Yeah, he actually had a talk show and they had
Morton Downey.
Donahue, yeah.
Morton
Donahue.
Oh.
Thank you. There you go.
Montel Williams.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It was just like that, right? So I don't know when the year. Do you remember when it aired?
No, not exactly. But Duce died, I guess, in I want to say 96 or 97. So
It was 97.
I think a couple of years prior. Yeah. Probably would have been around 95, something like that.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's right.
I think it was like 93, 94, something like that. And it was about controversial bands and bands with lyrics and stuff. And it was
Shock rock.
shock rock. That's what it
They
was.
had Guar on there, and
Yeah.
a band called the Spoets.
Yeah, so that was the very first time I saw that, and I watched it again right before we started the show. I think I watched it last night, and what was the funniest thing? Jerry Springer, actually.
January 1997. He went on Jerry Springer.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
Oh, okay.
Then I got the flyer first.
It was right just a few months before he got
Wow, trip out.
killed.
It was a few months before he got killed.
Right.
And if you want some details apparently about what he said on Jerry Springer, it's kind of shocking.
Did you watch it? Obviously.
Me?
Oh, did I watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't remember if I watched it when it was, live, but I've certainly seen it hundreds of times since then. Sure.
Yeah. What was your take about like of him and what he said on the show? Just out of curiosity.
Pure comedy. I had my ass laughing off.
Well, yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, some of the stuff maybe I wouldn't say it,
Right.
but he had his own persona. So
Yeah, he did. What was it? That was it. That's it.
he said some of these. I wanted to quote him on there. I think that because it's in our documentary. We just released this Mentors Rockumentary DVD done by April Jones. Maybe she'll call in. We were hoping to have her come down, but she took ill. Anyway, she's got the clip in there. So I was showing a friend from Baltimore, Mike Doucette. Maybe he's out there. He's over at my place just last night. We were watching it. And El Duce says, well, when the groupies come around, some of them don't put out, so you got to rape and sodomize them. That's one of the things he said. Now, that's sort of a,
It's going to get a little bit of attention.
Probably something I wouldn't say, but he would say that kind of stuff.
My personal favorite is when he got confronted by the female rape victim, the alleged rape victim. And
yeah, some of that's a little.
he asked her when she was raped, and he said, "Yeah, you look kind of familiar."
But see,
in today's Antifa, safe space climate, that kind of stuff doesn't really go over so good.
Well, that's my
I'm
point.
surprised that it would go
Well,
over
that's
to
just
the
one
point.
of those things where everybody laughs and kind of turns their head and hopes nobody saw them laugh, because
that's my
funny shit.
question because they brought that up a lot and you've seen it before. They talk about like the whole rape rock thing and
Yeah.
it was just a joke, right? Well,
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, it's a joke, but you know, we kind of quibble. I personally thought that was something that was at the time, you know, being a co-founding member and having a voice in the somewhat of the image of the band. I said, no, this is too much. You can't be doing that. You know, I tried to put the brakes on it, to be honest with you. Although I have come to embrace it over the years, but. You know, so we kind of split the difference, and we would call it raw pay rock, rape rock. So even Duce would explain it's not rape rock, it's raw pay. Now, I don't know if you know, but there's a tobacco, maybe our friend from Europe knows, there's a tobacco, chewing tobacco you can buy in Sweden called rape. You know about that?
No, no idea.
Yeah, Google it. It's so if the chewing tobacco people can call their stuff rape, why can't the mentors go on?
Well, I guess when it comes down to the
It's
shock
not cool,
of
yeah.
rock and roll and bands getting that, whatever it be, like you said, you know, at one time you kind of sat down and go, well, should we be going the same way the Pistols are, just to have some controversy here and get this shit going and get some, you know, at the end of the day, does the music stand up? But you know, you can have great music and play to empty pubs and empty bars and empty clubs where there should be fucking 1,000 people.
Sounds about right.
All of that publicity when it comes around. Fuck, if you've got your main man on fucking Jerry Springer and he takes that opportunity to talk shit that he's raping people, whether he is or he isn't, right? Then it puts the band in a direction just because of publicity that sells tickets.
Well, we'd already been doing it for
You
a
know?
long time before that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just Jerry Springer.
No, I know, but you know, I mean, but you'd obviously made those decisions long time before that. That yeah, we're good with that, and then you know, you just said now all of a sudden you're kind of going, oh, I think maybe we're going a little bit too fucking far.
Well, at that time,
you know?
I would kind of quibble with it, but you know, it's that was his personality. His personality was very much.
He would say whatever the fuck he
He was a
wanted.
button pusher. Yeah.
Plus, you know, keep in mind, you know, the psyche of him. He was the ugly duckling in school. The girls would laugh at him and call him names and shit like that. So he was subject to some amount of female bullying. So I think he developed this as kind of a defense mechanism. Not that he was a rapist or anything like that. He
Right.
wasn't going around, you know, hiding in bushes and coming out, clubbing women and.
He just said he was.
But you know, I think anybody that knew him knew at heart he was a comedian, and he was saying stuff to push buttons and provoke a reaction, and he certainly was very, very good at that.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was fucking notorious.
But you know, if you like that thing to some extent is overblown. I mean, because he would have that name of rape rock, but it wasn't like every single song was singing about that. There was plenty of songs about getting high or you know just other stuff.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking down the fucking name of these songs here, and
Yeah, sometimes you just want to rape a good joint.
So, but you know, how is it that the Rolling Stones get away with Midnight Rambler? The guy is saying he's putting a knife down somebody's throat, and that was a cool, badass song, one of the best Rolling Stones songs of all time.
No,
And they were talking about Alice. He's got some song called "Raped and Freezing."
yeah.
I mean, is rape out as a literary topic? You're not allowed to say it because why? I mean,
hey, let's be honest. Fucking Nirvana came straight out with a song, "Fucking Rape Me." You know.
well,
that's
that's another one.
You know, so yeah, you can't be picking and choosing on bands. If you're gonna fucking do it, go across the board. Be fucking real.
That's right.
Right? No, I couldn't agree more with you.
That's gonna be a weird
Don't
transition.
discriminate.
We're gonna get into later, but the whole point that's what I was saying. And then also it's kind of like correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a dark sense of humor, right? Like you can't take shit so seriously, especially if you're listening to music like this. You know, like there's one of my favorite bands is the Meatmen, and fuck, man, if kids nowadays heard the lyrics, you know,
Yeah, we just played with them last winter. I was there. But the thing, I'm not, you know, I played with them a few times, and I am sort of vaguely familiar with their content. But is it easy to understand what they're saying? Because a lot of these bands have really crazy stuff they say, but you almost need a lyric sheet to understand it. The music is so dense. I personally don't know about them. I don't know.
Oh no, the Meat Man you can tell.
You
But
can't.
It's
Okay.
it's very controversial and
It's right up in your face. You
yeah,
can hear it.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Even when they introduced songs, I think the song "One Down, Three to Go" was when which one of the Beatles first one to die? John Lennon. When he
How
died.
could you forget that?
He's a punk rocker. What the fuck has John Lennon dying got to do with punk?
Well, that's the whole thing. So John Lennon dies, and so they wrote the song "One Down, Three to Go," and then the whole lyrics like "fuck, fuck, 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 fuck the Beatles." It's funny. It's punk rock, and it's meant to piss you off. It's meant to be, but also kind of the sense that I get from El Duce was just like that's just like their humor, right?
It was more of a humor thing.
Right. So look, I'll give you an example because that's what I'm saying. You and I talked on the phone before you came on. Look, I bought this record, and we're not going to play it, Dutchie. I bought this record at our favorite record store, Dr. Strange. It's a band called Fossil Fuel, and it's called Christmas Sig Heil Ride. And it's got a picture of Santa with a pentagram on the bag, and he's shooting a machine gun at Jesus, who's holding a knife, flipping him off, and there's an upside-down cross. See, now, I bought this record just because this shit looks funny as hell to me, because I have a sense of humor.
It needs to go on Chaotic's wall, and that's for fucking
It's okay
sure.
because it's all in Christmas colors. That makes it
Right.
acceptable.
But I
So
listened
looks
to
festive.
it. Yeah, I listened to it, and I was like, never mind. But my point is that I have a sense of humor, so I bought this shit just because of that. Like, it doesn't offend me whatsoever that Santa's trying to shoot Jesus with a machine gun. It makes me laugh. You know what I mean? Like, you can get that shit.
I think people that get easily offended take themselves too seriously.
Exactly, and I think that's
Well,
the whole
yeah,
point.
that's true. I agree with that. But in today's climate, the political climate that we have right now, where everything is split, between Trump, the pro-Trump people, and the anti-Trump people,
Yeah.
and the fact that you've got, I'm going to get in trouble with all the pro-Trumpers out there, but you got the president who's sort of seeking common cause with Nazis and stuff, flips people out. So it kind of puts people into these various camps, and so I think it's a different political environment. People look at that and say, some guy with a swastika shooting a Jew, is a problem.
Right.
I remember when Pantera was happening back in the 90s and stuff. And it really wasn't that, at first wasn't really that big of a fan, but I did wind up seeing them live and was pretty impressed with them musically. But then the guys out there saying a bunch of racial shit.
Phil Anselmo. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, I'm not really comfortable with a guy saying what seems seriously, anti-minority stuff.
Yeah, when I went and saw him, I just went as a typical metal fan. I just dug the music, being a guitar geek and all. But then looking at the demographic they brought to the show, I looked up and went, "Holy shit! I'm not going up on that fucking lawn. It's a bunch of skinheads starting fires and hitting people."
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, man.
So you can look at it different ways, but I think our band was never really hate mongering. I don't think. I think it was more of a comedy.
That's what I'm saying though, about the whole thing about this.
I would look at that as comedy, but somebody else who was maybe in the trying to grapple with this very crazy political environment we've got, not only here but in Europe and elsewhere.
Right.
You got this Steve Bannon guy running around doing all kind of crazy shit, Nigel Farage and all these.
Yeah.
people.
We got a call right now, so let's go ahead and put him on air. Caller, you're on air with Ryan and the Meat Men. I'm sure the Meat Men, the Mentors. fuck that up.
Hey, it's
Hello.
yeah, Steve. Hey, this is Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. Yourself?
Good. That's my friend Mike Doucette, who's we were watching the documentary at my place in Paris last night. Paris, not Paris, France, Paris, California.
How you doing, Mike?
Good, man. Yourself?
All right, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, my first introduction to the Mentors, I walked in this record store when I lived in New Hampshire. It's this little shithole town, Nashua. And there it was, sitting in front of me, up the dose. And I was like, what the hell is this? And flipped it over and started reading the song titles, and it just blew my mind. I had to buy the thing, and ever since then, I've been, yeah, it's just incredible. But,
Mike's a good friend of ours. Yeah, always very gracious to us when we come through Baltimore and gives us a bunch of free food and shit.
Wow. Is that where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm still in the LA area right now.
Oh,
Getting
okay.
ready to leave town tomorrow, but
Mike travels
Yeah,
for
he
his
actually,
job. He winds up at our shows all around the place. He's seen us, just pops in and remember you come to a show in Salt Lake City, Huntington Beach. Where else?
yeah, I try and work my work schedule around that. So I look and see when they're playing and see when I can fit it in.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Well, thanks for calling in and thanks for checking out the show. And this is Chaotic Radio. You know, check it out. And my show's on Sundays from 4 to 6. And Dutchy the Punk Rock DJ has shows here. And that's Pacific Standard Time, by the way. Dutchy's got A Beautiful Disaster on Tuesdays from 4 to 6. And he's also got 78 RPM. On A Beautiful Disaster, interviews great bands, you know, just like this show. And on Fridays, him and his gorgeous girlfriend spin great punk rock music. So thanks for tuning in and let people know, man. This is the home for good rock and roll music. Anyway, so I want to get back. It's easy to get sidetracked on the show.
Right.
The funniest thing that I remember about that Jerry Springer thing, and then we'll move on from there, was that when he was still trying to do that talk show thing, and he was looking at El Duce, and he actually said, this is a quote, "Do you have no moral obligation to your fans?" That was a quote from fucking Jerry Springer to El Duce. Do you have no moral moral?
Oh, how times change.
Yeah, moral. Was it moral responsibility? I mean, I'm fucking up the quote, but he actually said it. Jerry Springer himself said that shit. So anyway, you were talking about what was it? That shit that happened with Tipper Gore. When you want to let our audience know what happened, and what year was that?
That would have been, I believe, 85, I think, is when it happened. So what had happened, we just had released that album called You Asked For It, which is probably our best-selling record.
Okay.
And although when it came out, it didn't really sell that much. But I remember, that was really the first album we'd done that was a full-length, professionally recorded album in a real studio with a real producer and stuff.
Where was that? What studio?
Track Record in Hollywood. It was a studio, and the guys that produced it was Brian Slagle, the owner of Metal Blade, although he had us on a subsidiary label called Death that was supposed to be his punk rock label or something like that, and Bill Matoyer.
Okay.
Bill Matoyer worked with Slayer. He did the first couple of Slayer albums on Metal Blade and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I was proud of that record, but I remember sitting at work one day, and my friend called me from Seattle because I was working in Redondo Beach at the time, and said, "Hey, your band is on CNN or whatever cable news." This was before this guy was from kind of a wealthy background, so somehow he had the cable news thing where they would show the congressional hearings all the time. And he goes, "You're on there." I go, "Why?" And I had no idea. What do you mean we're on there? And that's what I'm saying. It was like a shot of methamphetamine straight to the heart, because right after that, the thing just really took off. The record started selling like crazy from being mentioned on that thing. They said, there was, for those who don't know, this was a bunch of senators' wives that got together, and the vice president's wife that had their panties in a bunch about bands like Wasp. Don't forget, Wasp had that "Fuck Like a Bee" song.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was some people kind of doing dirty stuff, but they weren't making a daily habit of it like we were. They occasionally have some, they'd have dumb something. Well, I don't want to say dumb because I do kind of like Wasp, but they'd have more innocuous titles like Love Machine or whatever. I don't know.
That's funny. I remember it, and for everybody listening, it was Tipper Gore that was starting that whole shit.
Tipper Gore was a wife of Al Gore, was then the vice president of the United States, and there was a few other ones that were involved too. I don't remember who.
Here's what it says, and I love it because I was reading it earlier. As soon as you told me they were coming on, they actually read the fucking lyrics to "Anal Vapors."
Yeah.
She actually fucking.
Well, the song, just so we're sure what the title
quoted
is,
by some church reverend.
It's called "Golden Showers," but yeah, it has a line in about anal vapor.
Well, we have to go to commercial, right? So I'm going to play Golden Showers, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about it.
You guys are listening to the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com. We'll be back with our guests, the motherfucking Mentors.
Yeah.
Piss.
Little girl, it's near the hour. Come with me and take a golden shower. Listen, little slut, do as you're told. Come with Daddy for me to pour the gold. Golden shower, it's getting near the hour for a golden shower. I've got the righteous power. All through my extreme bitch and roam. Open your mouth and taste the foam. Bend up and smell my anal vapor. Your face is my toilet paper. Golden shower. I've got the power for a golden shower. I've got the righteous power. Our relationship, I don't want to spoil it. You are mine. You're sitting in the toilet. Listen, little girl, it's getting near the hour. On your face, I leave a shit tower. Shit tower. Prune skin power. Smelling sour. It's the shit tower. This is chaoticradio.com.
I'm shocked and gross, shocked and gross, shocked and gross, shocked again. Shocked and gross, I'm fully shocked. Shocked and gross, shocked again. I am shocked and gross to the max. I saw you the other night with the loser, and you wonder why I'm a loser. I see you give these creeps some screws. Now you got their name as tattoos. I'm shocked and gross, so thoroughly to the max. And gross to the max. Every guy I see with are all monkeys, and your other lovers are freaks or junkies. And now you act like you don't care. You've got string beans and spaghetti for your hair. I am shocked and stand to the back. All over your face I see tons of zips. And to gross me out even more, she's got hairy armpits. You lost your looks, you lost your charms. You've got track marks running down your arms. I'm shocked. Shocked and gross.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the world-famous Black Lung Show on chaoticradio.com. I'm your host, Ryan Pena. I'm here joining the studio by sleaze rock legends themselves, the mentors, along with my brother in punk rock, Dutchie, the punk rock DJ. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, when you guys have been listening to the show over the years, sometimes I only do an hour, but there's just so much stuff to talk about with these guys, and we're having such great conversations. So I think where we left off with the whole thing about with the congressional hearings and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's funny because we had the Dayglow Abortions from Canada. Are you familiar with that band?
Yeah, we played with them a couple times. In fact, they got arrested for saying bad stuff in Canada.
That's right.
Canada's really weird. They don't have the First Amendment up there, so freedom of speech.
Yeah,
There's a good rationale to attack Canada and enforce at least the First Amendment. I don't know about the Second Amendment.
I only ever spent one day in a prison cell, and that was because I had the word "fuck" on a T-shirt.
Really? Where's this?
In the UK.
In the UK?
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot.
What prison did they put you in?
It was just the local constabulary, and they just held me there for the day. It didn't press any charges, but arrested me
Really?
Yeah.
What year is that?
1983.
Yeah,
84.
there you go.
You cannot walk around the United Kingdom with a swear word on a T-shirt.
Wow.
It's against the law.
Well, yeah, you were with me, brother. I mean, that was a great show when we had the Dayglow abortion on here. They actually had to change the Canadian Constitution because of this ban. And so that reminds me, and I was telling Dutchie, there's a lot of similarities with you guys. The same thing. I remember that time because, and it's funny because Steve, when we were having a conversation on the phone before I had you on the show, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the Antifa people because they're kind of giving you guys some shit right now, aren't they?
Yeah, we have some problems with them.
Right? Yeah. The thing that's funny to me about it, and I think Jello from the Dead Kennedys had talked about it too before. I don't talk about politics too much on the show because I don't believe in the left or right anymore. If
That's where I'm at.
yeah, if you know me personally, like I said, I like to think I'm all inclusive and I want everyone to get along and everything. So I'm not. I definitely don't.
You
like
review everything on a case by case basis.
True,
Yeah,
true.
right.
But I used to always lean left. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the big religious right. I can't stand that. I can't stand them preaching to me and telling me what I shouldn't listen to. So it was funny to me that Tipper Gore was the one that was starting this bullshit. And it just shows us that there is no Democrats or Republicans. There is no left and right. There's this fake moral authority that we're supposed to follow, right?
Right.
And the funniest thing that you were saying to me was that because I had read before I'd asked you to be on the show that some guys or some groups are giving you some shit and protesting you guys playing live,
Right.
and I told you the same thing just happened with the Dickies. They got booted off. What was it, the Warped Tour?
Warped
Dutchie?
Tour.
Yeah.
Leonard was on stage and it was just joking with some of the kids and saying something like, "There's a lot of good-looking girls that are underage, and I can't have sex with you all, because I'm busy," or just something like that. Like just an off-color joke, and some people really got offended. And one of the things that you said to me, like, I made me really think is that you think that I think that you think and I think that the left, the Antifa are moving too far. The safe space, you're hurting my feelings. Like these kids nowadays, it's. Do they not understand that this shit is punk rock? It's meant to be offensive. It's dirtier. It's for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? Do you want to speak on that?
Yeah. Well, the first time I really got hip to this concept of triggering, you know about this? They say you've been triggered.
What's that?
That's a word that they use to describe
You
why
want,
there's
you want their safe place.
want a
Right.
safe space where the triggering is. You say it's like showing what's the right word? Showing a red flag to a bull or something that would trigger the bull.
Okay.
Right.
So if you're joking about off-color, controversial topics or something like that, it's going to trigger somebody to have a nervous breakdown or something like that. So they want these safe places where they will not be triggered. I got hip to that when I was doing this interview with this chick or lady, I should say.
You can say chick. Dude. It's cool. Fuck it.
Slut.
Bitch, whore, cunt.
Whore. Bitch. That was in, writing for some paper up in Frisco when we.
So shocking.
Yeah.
That people
So
in San Francisco.
she explained to me this whole thing. I said, really? Yeah. So since then, I've learned that's actually is what's going on, that there's a lot of people that believe that they shouldn't be triggered or exposed to anything that might, trigger them into some sort of epileptic seizure.
There's a movement that's
Wow.
looking to complain about anything just to get their voices heard about anything.
So yeah, I think that stuff is a little nutty, but on the you got extremists on both the left and the right. You get the
Exactly.
left-leaning people are.
Which is why you just called bullshit on the left and the right.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
see, I grew up in the '60s, so I was old enough that I was worried about actually being drafted for the Vietnam War. I missed that by a year, but I remember thinking if this goes on, there's might have to go to Canada. A lot of people, because they didn't want to fight in the Vietnam War, would go to Canada, or you would try to register as a Quaker or some shit like that, a pacifist. So I think I wound up going to the Quaker church and signing something that said I was adherent to that Quaker faith, just to avoid getting drafted, or if I was drafted, to go into some, nonviolent, aspect of it. So anyway, to make this story longer, I just associate the right wing with more, the Vietnam War, and the Democrat Party at the time was more anti-war. So you had George McGovern and people like that were more pro pot smoking and
obviously the hippie movement.
Yeah. So now it's become sort of more. You run into a lot of people that believe that the Party of Freedom is now the Republican Party, not the Democratic Party, for various reasons. But you look at a guy like Jeff Sessions that wants to make this stuff illegal, and I say that's bullshit.
Yeah,
so
but he's high when he says that.
So it's a very strange political climate to still be trying to do our shtick, because we're not going to change it. But
yeah, I think it's when I listen to a lot of the earlier stuff, it just seems that in the 70s and we got another phone call. Cool, because what I was about to say was probably going to be stupid. So let's talk to somebody on the phone. We got a caller. You're on live on the Black Lung Show with Ryan Pena, Dutchy the Punk Rock DJ, and the legendary Mentors. Go ahead. Hello.
Man, we get them on and then fuck off.
God damn it.
They waited 2 minutes. That's it. Fucking 2 minutes in this long life.
See, the kids have no patience nowadays.
We're not for everybody.
Well, I was gonna say is that you listen to a lot of the stuff back in the 80s and 70s, and there's stuff that now you just cannot say, and it's crazy. There's stuff that you can't do. I mean, the same thing. Let's take the whole shock rock thing, right? And we were talking about Pantera outside.
Right.
I went and saw Pantera live. No, let me take that back. I went to go see Glenn Danzig play live, and he had a band called the Genitortures open for them.
Right. Yeah. We played with them.
Yeah. And Jen, the lead singer, who's a female, she had a guy on a cross, and she had him with a fake dick on a stake, and she was nailing nails through his dick, and it was all for show. And I got that, but I wonder if that happened now, would the left cry? And now the caller's back again.
Let's see.
Come on, caller. Let's see if you got you now.
Different caller.
Different caller. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
CakeRadio.com. What's up? Who are we speaking with?
Hey, this is Tim. I got a question for Steve. How do you think the scene? You guys kind of already alluded to the political thing, but how do you compare today's climate with the '80s regarding all this political crap?
Well, in the '80s, there was a lot of anti-Reagan and Bush sentiment also that was running around, but seemed to be less a topic of conversation. In my opinion, it wasn't as prevalent in everybody.
As opposed to the Trump thing right now.
Yeah. The Trump thing is really a big topic of conversation between people. It splits families apart, friendships, all kind of stuff. So to me, it's just more supercharged now than it was then. I don't remember, because I lean to the left. I certainly don't enjoy paying huge amounts of taxes and stuff like that. But my own personal politics lead more to the left. And I don't remember getting in arguments with a bunch of pro-Reagan people at that time or stuff like that.
So Tim, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Azusa.
All right, cool.
I used to live in Azusa.
Yeah, I know.
Go up in the canyon all the time. Go swimming in the San Gabriel River. Go all the way up to the top. What's the lake at the top? Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Crystal Lake.
Yeah, the South Fork and the North Fork of that river. I used to ride my bike up there all the time. Beautiful place.
Crystal Lake. Did you ever run into a guy with a hockey mask?
Some cunt always says that.
That's me.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go there.
I'm sorry. I'm a big horror movie fan. I'm a nerd. So, Tim, are you a big Mentors fan?
Oh, hell yeah.
Cool, man.
Yep. Hung out with them quite a bit. Hung out with El Duce quite a bit.
Did you now?
Yeah, because Duce used to live with me over in Azusa.
Got any stories you want to share? Yeah.
You want to share a story about El Duce?
Oh, hell yeah. I got to shut the door so my wife don't hear this.
That's what I want to hear.
You mean you haven't told the missus these stories?
There's a lot of them. But Duce used to get drunk, obviously, a lot.
I've heard.
one of the things I used to have to do is he would pull down his pants at inappropriate moments, and I would have to keep from getting his ass kicked all the time. So I would have to step in.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I was
it's-
hanging out with Duce here in L.A., and then I had moved to New York for a little while and helped him out as a roadie and stuff like that. You know, something to get in for free.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then moved back to L.A. and I didn't spend much time there, but due to my attitude, I guess, not the best attitude. But when I moved back to L.A., the mentors were back here.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ducci were hanging out in Hollywood, and some dude with a trench coat gave us some acid.
Okay.
And Ducci says, well, we got to get off the streets. Let's go to Justice's house.
Justice
and
Howard.
Steve knows who Justice is.
The photographer.
No, Justice the stripper.
Oh,
Well, she was a stripper and an adult performer also,
I'm thinking of a
and
different- I'm
became
thinking of a-
very famous as a photographer.
Oh, so we are talking about
Oh, yes,
strippers.
yes.
Yeah, she has a very well-developed chest. She's famous
Yes.
for those two titties that she's got, huge titties. She's actually was in one of her videos. That's where we met her for the first time. We were making some video at her house that we lived in North Hollywood, and the guy who was putting it together, this guy named Gary Pressman, had called up one of those adult talent agencies. You know, there was 2 or 3 that worked in California at the time, L.A., and hired these 2 or 3 chicks to come over, and she was one of them.
Wow.
She was in our video called On the Rag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went over to Justice's house, huh? So what
Yes.
happened?
So me and Ducci are frying on acid. And I hadn't peaked yet. And there was this other, speaking of Canada, there was this other chick there from Canada.
Right.
And I had a bottle of gin with
Yeah.
me, and she drank that whole damn bottle of Tanqueray gin, and she was out like a light.
Like a fifth.
And Justice invites me into the other room right
Right.
when I started to peak.
Right.
And she turned into a skeleton with tits. And I ran out into the bedroom because I heard this weird noise, this, and it was El Duce and the chick from Canada. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. But there was a lot of those kind of stories.
So he was having sex with her, and she was passed out. Is that it?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, shame on him. I told him, I said, that's rape, but that was, he didn't think of
No,
it.
well,
that
you know
way.
what? Funny about that is we later
didn't
went
think of it
to
that way.
North Hollywood with the same chick. And
She thought it was the first
just
time
was
that time.
pretending. She was just pretending.
Yeah, Duce had certain aspects that it was,
Peaceful rape.
that was not
Peaceful rape. Oh my God.
not good.
Gets
And I
worse.
would not be
No,
saying
she
that
was
was
just
cool.
playing.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, he, I had never participated in any kind of stuff like that. I don't know whether he really did stuff like that, but it's not
It was a joke.
good.
All right. Well, thank you for that uplifting call, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah, Tim, thanks.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
bye.
for calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Well then. All right. So the Black Lung Show is going to be getting protests probably any fucking minute now. I'm kidding.
I'm already protesting.
He's protesting me and he's in the
Well,
mentors.
in his defense, that was sort of something that people would. It wasn't just him joking about doing stuff. You had Bill Cosby that had comedy routines about stuff, who later apparently did the same shit.
Right. Well, let me.
So I guess the moral of the story is it's wrong to do that. It is rape, and I would tell him, "You dumb fuck, that's
it's wrong
rape.
now.
It's rape to do that. If you don't have consent, that's why we have a mentor consent form that we give to all the groupies.
Before we give them a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, because now it's all about consent, and it should be about consent.
No, it should. But at the same time, I will say this, dude, and this is going to sound weird coming from me, but in this rock and roll lifestyle, you know what I mean? When you're doing drugs and all that kind of stuff, if you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to black out where everyone else is doing drugs, you never know what the fuck's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know where you're going to wake up. You don't know,
Sure.
I think personally, this is the first time I've ever said this shit on the air. There's got to be some personal responsibility. No safe space, no nothing. Like, if I go out and I drink too much and I talk shit and I get my ass kicked, well, fuck, I deserve it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people deserve to get raped. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you gotta, you know what I mean? If you're going to be there, the rock and roll scene it seems glamorous, but it's got a really, really bad dark side. Does that make sense?
You gotta be cleverer than putting yourself in the position, ladies. If you're gonna go and be some kind of groupie and get backstage with the superstar and then get wasted and claps, you're putting yourself in a position where it may happen.
That's right.
There's the fact.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, I think there are two
And-
factors that also come into play, and that's number one, everybody's trying to outdo everybody else.
Yeah.
You know? And the whole rock and roll mindset in general is that anything goes. There are no rules, you know. But obviously, some people take that a little too far.
Yeah, and there's so many stories. I mean, you can listen to anything. I mean, it's not just us and the mentors talking to you guys about this stuff. Go back and look into history. I mean, I remember we were talking about you mentioned Motley Crue, and I remember the stories of Ozzy Osbourne, them being on tour and just being so drugged out that Ozzy Osbourne like snorted up a rail of like live ants just to outdo somebody.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you're intoxicated, you're gonna do stupid shit, and you're not gonna remember that. So anyway, all right, caller. Well, thank you for your enlightening phone call. Our guests are the mentors here on the Black Lung Show. You guys have a new album that just came out?
Yeah, we did release something called The Illuminati last year.
All right. Is it on vinyl or?
No, we have actually last year we also released a live album on vinyl called To the Max Live from '92 in Cleveland, Ohio, with the original lineup of me, Sicky, and El Duce and Insect on Acid, our black backup drummer and backup vocalist. So that's the lineup on that. That's on vinyl only right now. And then we have the CD called Illuminati.
Illuminati. All right. And where can people pick that up? And just Google that shit? Or do you have a actual Mentors face? I mean, I know you got a Facebook page, but you got a Mentors like website that people can order that from?
No, I just sell the stuff just direct by mail off Facebook, The Mentors.
Okay. So everybody go to the Mentors Facebook page.
Or they sell it through CD Baby also. You can get it through them.
Okay.
And downloads and stuff.
Okay. So we got about a half hour, and we could be doing this for forever. Love talking about rock and roll and punk rock. Let's talk about the one thing that most people want to hear about, and I would mention this to Dutchy a little bit. And it's crazy. It's one of the craziest ones. I saw a couple of interviews with El Duce.
Right.
El Duce, before he passed away in 1997, and I'm going to say allegedly, I'm putting up the air quotes, right?
Yeah.
No, was asked by Courtney Love to kill Kurt Cobain from Nirvana.
Right.
Did he talk to you about that?
Yeah.
So is it true? That's what I'm saying. He talked to you. I mean, or do you believe him, or could he have been drunk? I mean, what? Tell me about that, because it's a big controversy, and I've seen the interviews. I mean, you can see this shit on YouTube. It's not
if people really want to know the true story, I did write a book about El Duce and my experience with El Duce called "Truth is Funnier Than Fiction."
Well, there you go. See, now that's
394 pages, which I also sell on my Facebook thing, where I tell the story and of actually what happened. So anybody that knew El Duce really would know that he would probably be the last person you would want to hire to kill somebody. I mean, it'd be like he had a lot of similarities to Mr. Magoo. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know who Mr. Magoo is.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
Basically, couldn't see, couldn't drive, couldn't fly. So the idea that he's going to fly in an airplane up to Seattle and get over to Kurt Cobain's house with a shotgun and kill Kurt Cobain is, first of all, it's totally unbelievable. Just couldn't happen. Like hiring Stevie Wonder to do it. I mean, really, it's not going to happen. But he did say it. Now, I really don't remember where he was exactly when it happened. It was so long ago.
The interview I saw was with him he was pretty drunk in his backyard in Riverside.
That's my house.
That was
your house.
Yeah,
rock
we're still
shop
living.
where
Yeah, we were just over there earlier. Yeah, that's my house.
Okay.
And so I remember, this Nick Broomfield guy that did that thing is, he's not, in my opinion, a reputable journalist. He's done some other things that, since then I think are just certainly not corroborated journalism. Not that, it's been a while since I watched that whole movie, so I can't really remember that was a big part of that movie, but there are also other elements where I think he's trying to get some other conspiracy theories going about what happened.
Right. My question wasn't that did he do it? Because obviously he didn't. That's the truth. He didn't kill Kurt Cobain. If you're listening to it and you want to be like, oh shit, I heard the Black Lung show that El Duce killed Kurt Cobain. That's a big. He didn't do it, but he did say that he did know who did it. And that's I guess the conspiracy theory that it wasn't a suicide, it was a murder. Did he talk? I guess you have to read the book. Is that what you're going to answer?
No, I don't want to make people pay the $31 I charge for the book just to see that story. But that's that's the authority.
You got to get paid.
It's the authoritative account of it in there. But the bottom line is, I believe the official police reports of what happened. I don't believe personally that there was somebody that pulled the trigger on him.
Okay.
If you wanted to hear a little 2-minute interview of him talking about it, I've got it.
Play it.
All right.
I have no fucking clue what we're gonna hear.
Oh, I do.
Right.
It's be fun. But hey, for the listening audience, you know what I mean? I was hoping we would get some juicy bit and you'd be like, oh shit, on the Black Lunch of the mentors there and told the fucking truth about it. But I already know. Go ahead, Dutchie. Play what you got.
So, but you did some deal with Courtney, right?
Yeah. She offered me 50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I was telling you this.
She what?
50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
And that's a fact, is it? But people might think you're not the most reliable witness.
Well, that's too bad. You may not be the reliable witness your own self. Now think about that one.
Yeah.
You know, when she offered me money, God dang, I wish I would have taken it, man. But I know who whacked him.
But how are you going to whack him? Did she tell you how to do it?
Yeah, blow his fucking head off.
So where were you going to find him to do it?
Well, up there, and she gave, mapped it out. I mean, up there in Bellevue, wherever they live, right outside Seattle. I know right where the house is. I know right what garden to pop him in. I just didn't think she was serious.
But did she tell you how she wanted you to pop
she
him?
says, blow his fucking head off. I got the shotgun.
But she didn't say anything about
Make it
making
look like a suicide.
Well, yeah, but if you just blew his brains out like you said, it wouldn't look like suicide. It looked like you blew his brains out, right?
But I told Alan, my friend, who I'll let the FBI catch him. But
well, there you go.
That's just the way it's done.
Yeah.
What made it worse for me was there was a drunk Englishman interviewing him who was even fucking more worthless than he was.
This thing, I do believe he actually did take a lie detector test. See, when this whole thing came up, and he, again, to really get the full story, you'd have to read the book. But the basic thumbnail sketch is he sold a story to the Weekly World News. Okay.
All right.
Now, the way those things work is they publish all kind of crazy stuff. Like you can say, I slept with JFK or I did this or that.
Yeah, the alien lizard man kind of thing, right?
So apparently the way they avoid getting sued for libel is they just have somebody say the stuff. Then they can say, we're just reporting the news of what this guy said. Okay.
Fair enough.
So whether or not he really did it or not, or he knew somebody that did it, I'll leave that to I truly don't know. I only have hearsay evidence. Okay. But he did for sure sell a story to the Weekly World News, and he was in the Weekly World News. I have a copy of it. And he was quite proud of that when it happened. And part of that story was he had to take a lie detector test from, I think the guy's name was Dr. Gelb. And I believe he did take a lie detector test. I believe that aspect is true. And supposedly passed the lie, was shown as non-deceptive when he said this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, I truly don't believe he did have anything to do with it because it's just so farcical that somebody...
He just believes everything he says.
No. Well, I guess the moral of the story is I just recently heard, I think it was in this whole Stormy Daniels thing, I think that it came up, well, she's willing to take a lie detector test or took a lie detector or something. I was like, oh, man. Now I'm starting to question... that really went on. This lie detector test is a crock of bullshit.
I think so too.
It's ridiculous. If it was that easy to tell whether somebody was telling the truth or not, then those things would just be all over the place.
Right. Well, there was a study, and this is a weird conversation to bring up, but there was a test that I did read about where they had a company and they took all the employees and set them in a room and said that something had been stolen that had not been stolen, right? And some of the employees were found to be lying on the lie detector test. Like, they asked them, "Did you steal it?" Which it had never been stolen, and some people just fail. I mean, it's just a reaction. I think people just get nervous when you talk. It's the same thing like when you get pulled over by the cops. You know what I mean? Like, shit. Are you drunk? No, I'm just fucking nervous. You make me nervous, So yeah, lie detectors don't mean shit, man.
It's a bunch of bullshit. So.
Yeah, I mean, where do you see lie detector tests? You see it on the Steve Wilkos show and Jerry Springer. See how I turn it all back around? Look at that with the mentors. Anyway, let's play some more mentors music. We've got less than half an hour before we got to get out of here. We're gonna plug some more shows. We're gonna talk about your upcoming tour, and we're gonna plug some more of mentor shit.
Well, you tell me what song you want me to play.
Yeah, what do you want, Steve?
Boy, you could play My Erection Is Over.
My Erection Is Over?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that probably would have been a good song for the end of the show. But anyway, you're listening to The Black Lung Show, live on chaoticradio.com. In studio, our guests, the legendary, the motherfucking mentors. Take it away, Dutchie. You got it?
Baby, you don't make me steal. Not you, I can't steal. Thinking of you, yeah, thinking of you. Gross, thinking of you. I want to be a chick with a fat ass. She's gotta be a slight, be real grass. I don't want some Cosmo one like you. You're unlike a magazine. I get through and across the room when I'm through. My erection is over. O-V-E-R over. Get out of my house. Get out. You're booted. Because my erection is over. With the fat ass, it turns me on. I want me a sleazy slut who can give a tongue back to my butt.
Hello, hello. This is Eddie Casillas from the Voodoo Glow Skulls, and you're listening to chaoticradio.com.
That's right. You're listening to the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com. That was The Mentors. What a crazy show, Dutchie.
Did they leave?
No, they're right here.
that would have been a first. I'm like, what the fuck? The way you were saying it was like you were all sad.
Having our medical marijuana.
They,
All right, we're back.
It's legal now in California, so
you know, I gotta love a country that where you can be in a state and it's legal, but federally it's illegal.
You can't
so.
smoke that in here.
Oh yeah, you gotta put that out.
Did you just say legal?
Not in the studio.
No, we got separate fucking laws in the studio, fucker.
That's right. That's right. And there's no cocaine.
We supersede everything.
That's right. There's no cocaine on the table, which has actually happened once in the interview. Swear to God, I did. It was shocking to me. Not shocking to me, but unexpected. You got to let a brother know before you do some shit like that.
Yeah, especially when you can't reach it across the other side.
All right. And the Mentors are our guests here in the studio. You've been listening to the Black Lung Show. We've been having a lot of fun. We want to promote you guys, and what you guys got coming up? I know you guys.
We got a lot of stuff coming up, but I don't advertise it because it's Antifa bullshit.
What?
Seriously?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we play all over, but that's for the local people to advertise. If I start saying we're playing here, there, see, the problem is these stupid phones. Okay, what happens? These Antifa people, God bless them. God bless them.
I don't even know what Antifa is. What's Antifa?
Anti-fascist. It's an anti-Trump kind of thing that's kind of taken over and gotten a little bit fucking crazy.
All right.
They're trying to ban all kind of bands. It isn't just us. It's many bands.
It's mainly a bunch of
So what they do is they
idiots.
they find out where you're playing and they call up the venue from typically California or Oregon where they have hotbeds of them.
Yeah.
And tell the local club that it's fucked up and they shouldn't do it, and if they do have the band play there, they might expect some
protests and shit like that. Yeah, I saw that.
Or the more stuff. I don't want to put words in their mouth or nothing.
Well,
for them to say, but
I've seen it.
They try to ban our shit, and I've learned
personally. I think it's better promotion than the promoter can.
Well, you can say that sometimes.
But that really fucking surprises me.
I mean, if you're a club owner and you have 5 bands a week, and most of them are singing about kitty cats and sunsets and stuff, and then here comes the Mentors in there, and you got people calling up saying they're going to
protest, and they're going to
do other things that might go on beyond protesting, possibly.
You're talking about violence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, we're talking
Yeah,
violence.
that's what I'm talking
Let's
about.
not fucking beat about the bush here. We're talking these fuckers are threatening people
Yeah.
with violence, and we're going to fuck your club up, and it's bullshit.
No,
the only time I go along with that is if you've got Nazi bands playing and shit like that. Those bands, But again, it's America, and if you have a club owner who wants to fucking put Nazi bands in his club, that's up to him.
Right. Well, there's another one I could talk about besides when I was talking about the Dickies. It recently happened to Fang. Fang was supposed to be playing Gilman Street, and if you know Gilman Street, I mean it's a very famous club, and and for people listening, that's where Green Day got started, and I'll leave it at that. But they have very specific rules where you can't say you can't have certain lyrics, you can't say the F word, and I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
talking
funny you mentioned Gilman because it was about 5 years ago we were booked to play there. And then they announced that we couldn't play there because of our lyrical content. Mm-hmm. So we actually went in there and had a meeting with the people, because it's a collective. It's like,
yeah, that's right.
We had a meeting with them and explained our trip. And they did wind up letting us play there at that time, 5 years ago. Now I don't think that would happen.
Now I don't think you would play there at all.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well,
so, and I'm a big believer in the First Amendment. I think they have the right to say whatever they want, just like I have the right to say whatever the fuck I want. And if they want to complain and say that we shouldn't play there, that's okay too. I mean, but we really ran into problems with it last year, where I made the mistake of we were doing a West Coast tour, and our graphic artist, what should we call the tour? And I said, just call it the Anti-Antifa tour. So he made a poster of us dressed up in like Eastern European military uniforms. Wow. There was no swastikas. It could have been Polish uniform for all. And apparently there was a girl that was photoshopped in there where I was pointing a gun at her head. I didn't even notice that part.
But you asked for it, didn't you?
So that caused, and we had on there all the dates that we were playing. Next thing I know, they're calling up, just going hog wild. Because we had limited problems with them before. Maybe 1 out of 100 gigs would get affected. Then all of a sudden, it's like they're calling up on the phone, leaving messages. I can understand a club owner might not want to run the risk of dealing with that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think you could have made a better decision?
Well, it's funny because the guy goes, "You really want to do this?" And I just thought I did not anticipate the reaction that it would have. So I had posted it for about a half an hour on my Facebook thing, and then I took it down. Well, by then the cat was out of the bag. So, yeah, I mean, it affects a lot of bands. It isn't just us. There's a band called Destroyer 666 that runs into that kind of problem. Some other Finnish guy or Swedish guy named Take or Take or some crap that runs into this.
Well,
there's a bunch of them that they're not. And when I was doing this interview with one of them, I said, "Why don't you guys?" Okay, because politically, I'm kind of sort of lean toward more of some of their other stuff,
Yeah.
So I go, why don't you go after the Catholic Church? This is a clear pedophilic, international conspiracy of fucked up stuff. Why aren't I going after them?
Now you got the Catholic Church protesting you as well.
That's a
these are a bunch of ill-informed morons that take the executioner hoods the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, I feel you on that too, because the whole thing is like I've been talking about this with the show, right? So I'm in a band right now called Something Ferocious. We've been a band for the last 3 years, but for the 7 years before that, I was in kind of like a glam punk rock band, kind of New York Dolls kind of style,
right?
And we were called the Prostitute Marys, and one of our albums was called, and this is right when all that Catholic shit happened, was it was called Touched by a Father. and our album cover had my guitar player dressed kind of like Judas Priest in an outfit like half Catholic priest, half Turbo Negro, and he was holding on to a little kid's head, and it's touched by a father. And the little kid's got a gun behind his back, like he's gonna shoot him. It ended up, in actuality, it was his real life son, and we did that, and we put that out. And people lost their fucking mind. They're like, you can't fucking say touched by a father. And we had a glittery Bible, and it was. I feel you, man.
I think they should go after that. I mean, I'm no threat to nobody.
Right? No, I know.
You're a threat to me. That's why I'm in the band.
I mean,
you're not a threat to anybody, but you gave them an invitation with the name, just with the name of the tour.
It was kind of dumb, but we tried to, as they say, turn lemons into lemonade, and sold a lot of anti-Antifa tour shirts as a result.
As far as I'm concerned, it seems, it all boils down to, music getting a bad rap, whether, on the flip side, you got movies that are perfectly fine to portray it. You can show it, but you can't talk about it.
That's right, yeah.
And, so a Quentin Tarantino movie using the N-word 200 times in 90 minutes is okay. We can't even, we couldn't even say it once on an album and get away with it, even if it's, quote unquote show business or in jest.
No, and I get that too, because I didn't want to mention it too, but the other thing I was saying is like things were a lot different in in the 80s where you could say different words. And I remember hearing the first track and use the F word, and I was saying the word fag, like back then. I've got lots of gay friends. Hey, I'm not.
Or where Dutchie comes from, that's a whole different meaning, right?
Yeah, it's a cigarette.
Yeah.
But you can't say fag nowadays or you'll be fucking crucified. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And back then, and it doesn't mean that like you didn't learn from it. You know what I mean? Like I don't use a word. I would never use the word in lyric now. But I remember listening to stuff like Bad Brains and stuff back in the day. And there's certain bands you can hear like a word now that will just fucking piss off these these millennials. And it's crazy. It's like.
They're looking for something to bitch about.
They're looking. You're right. You're
everybody wants
right.
to be a part of something, and everybody's grasping for straws.
Well, you know, I hate to go delve into the politics, although that's all I do is watch Trump on YouTube probably 6 or 7 hours every day to see what the latest in the fucking thing is. But you know, it's all when you got.
He's our only elected stand-up comedian.
Like that Charlottesville thing with those guys marching with the torches and all of this shit. I mean, it's it demands some sort of response when you have that kind of thing at the halls of power. I think it does demand a political response. And when I told this one chick was interviewing, I said, if we're collateral damage to get rid of this motherfucker, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
really,
true.
Really,
That's true.
You know, because I ain't gonna, stop doing it. Might
Right.
interfere with a little bit of what's going on here and there, and lose some fans, get some new fans, and stuff like that.
So how's that been going since you guys you're playing recent right now? How the crowds been reacting to you guys? I know you guys got some shit. And by the way, Well,
keep in mind we've been going so long that there is a lot of people that have known us. I mean, since the very beginning, and they know, where our heart is, and they're not going there. There's no hate or stuff at our show.
No, of course.
If we're saying stuff, it's more in humor than serious.
And that's the whole point why I kept mentioning that stuff. And that's I didn't even explain it to you that the whole point of the Black Lung Show, the name, comes from a stand-up comedian. I know we got 5 minutes, Dutchie. We're out of here. I got to get you guys get back in here, man. This has been fun.
Sure.
The Black Lung Show is from a stand-up comedian that says, I'm not racist because a lot of people, look at me and they think, I play in a punk band, I got tattoos and I have this accent that I'm white, but I'm actually Mexican, Spanish was my first language. I don't support racism whatsoever, but I have a good fucking sense of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know the mentors aren't fucking racist and fucking evil. Otherwise, I wouldn't have you guys on my show.
Right.
And that's it, man. So anyway, I want to promote a couple things real quick. The Hellsnore Band Extravaganza and Bike Show is coming up in 2 weeks in Lake Elsinore at the Rec. My band, Something Ferocious, is playing with Friend of the Devil, Arkansas Toothpick, The Wreck, Whiskey Dick Rebellion, Big Rig Dollhouse, Ilcom, who you've heard on the show as well, and Arkansas Toothpick. A lot of these bands have been on here. Dirty Hammer, Grizzly Bolt, The Subjectors, Child of War. That's going to be Saturday, April 28th. Gave the wrong fucking date. That's Saturday, April 28th at the Rec in Lake Elsinore. In 2 weeks, for Mac's birthday show at the Doll Hut, my band is playing there with our friends JFA. JFA's headlining the show.
Jodie Foster's Army.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
JFA, Narcoleptic Youth, DFL, Dead Fucking Last. A lot of great bands. I know Dutchie's going to be there probably. Captain Monroe is going to be there. We got those 2 shows coming up. We're going to be doing a show, I think, April 13th at Characters Bar with Wimpy Rutherford and the Cryptids. Wimpy was the drummer for the Queers. They're going to be doing a queer set. We got that stuff coming up. I want to promote you guys' stuff. I know you guys are going to be playing. Don't worry about people, man. Fuck them. If you don't want to, if you don't want to come to a mentor show and have a good time, then you're stupid.
We are playing the 28th or 29th? I forget. Next Thursday.
29th of
Thursday at the Blacklight, yeah.
At the Blacklight District. All right, well, look, if Antifa people show up at the Blacklight, I played there. If they show up at the Blacklight District Lounge, you're in for fucking...
At least somebody showed up.
I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
Not too worried about that.
Yeah, fuck no, not at that goddamn bar. Anyway, so here's the thing I'm going to end the show with, Dutchie. I'm
going to give one shout out before we go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, for a show. Billy Bones, All Night Rocker at the Maui Sugar Mill, Saturday, March the 31st. The Deadbeats, Ravensmoreland, the Sold and Bones. This man is supporting our radio station. Phew, man, this guy, I got to meet him a year ago on your show.
Yeah.
And
I love Billy, man. He's the coolest.
The guy shouts out our radio station all the time. He's a big supporter of Kaotic Radio. So, yeah, All Night Rocker, Maui Sugar Mill, Saturday, March 31st, Deadbeats, Ravensmoreland, Sold and Bones.
And then also my friend Victor. And now, like here, I'll admit, like when I sound like a hypocrite sometimes. I said that fuck the pay to play. My friends are playing at the Whiskey with let's see, let me find it. 'Cause I brought it here to do the visual fucking thing. The Undead. The Undead are touring. They've been on my show. I'm a fan. This is Bobby Steele, the original guitar player from the Misfits. And the Undead are on tour. And April 7th, they're going to be at the Whiskey A Go-Go. That's one of those pay-to-play places. My friends are playing with them. I wish you guys would fucking not do that shit. But Victor from the Walking Toxins is a good friend of mine. If you guys call in next week, we'll give you guys a free pair of tickets to go there. And if you go to Facebook and look for VFMS, they got free tickets. So at least he's giving them away. That's cool. You know what I mean? But here's the last thing. To finish off the show like I like to do, I love spinning vinyl. I love keeping it old school. So our biggest supporter for Dutchy's shows, for my show, for Chaotic Radio, is our good friend Bill, the owner of Dr. Strange Records. I love Dr. Strange Records. We talk about that shit every single week. It's just right down the street from the studio. And Dutchy, look at this. Check this out, dude. I'm excited because as I've told you about the show, and you guys are here on, I love listening to punk rock music. I love discovering new bands. I love helping other people discover new bands. So years ago, there was a compilation, and I wish we had more compilation now. It was called Hell Comes to Your House. You guys ever heard of that compilation? It was a cool compilation. I was a little kid, saw it. Social Distortion had a song on there called The Creeps. First time I played the record, there was a band called 45 Grave on there. And that's the first time I ever listened to 45 Grave. Big fan of 45 Grave. So...
good band, 45 Grave. That's old school stuff.
Look at this, dude. I bought this off the wall. You know the wall in the back, Dutchy?
Yeah.
Hell Comes to Your House, Volume 2. I didn't even know this fucking album existed. The Joneses, the Mau Mau's, fucking the Minutemen, Tex and the Whorehead.
Bro, shut the fuck up and spin it.
I'm about to.
I was just going to say the same fucking thing.
You guys are so nice. Thanks for listening to the Black Lung Show. Thanks to the mentors. Thanks for Dutchy.
Thank you.
Yeah. We love you. Tune in next week. The Penetrators featuring George and Eddie Casillas from the Voodoo Glow Skulls. I slurred that. The Voodoo Glow Skulls will be here in studio next week.
break them. You guys, headphones, mic check.
Chickity check, chickity check.
Got you, sounding good. 2 guests, please. Talking in the mic.
You got to talk right into it. Okay.
And make sure their mics are on.
Yeah. Let's see. What are they? 4 and 5, right? Yeah. All right. Check it out.
Hello. Hello. Yo.
Very loud. Number 5.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Try again.
Hello.
John.
Hello. Hey.
Let's see if B calls it over there.
I gotta say, it sounds pretty sexy in the microphone. I'm just
It's done.
dang.
Leo, I don't know if you remember a night. I don't know if you were at the house the one night.
Oh, fuck you.
But this story is being told, and it's going to be fucking hilarious.
When I told him, I was like, "Oh, it's one of my coworkers. We're going to these radio shows. I work with this guy." And he's like, "Oh, okay. How do you know this fucker?" It's just some guy. You know. He works with. He's like, "Who is it?" And I was like, "It's Jeremy." He's like, "Who?" I'm like, "He's the big Jew guy."
I just want to let you guys know that St. Patty's was very successful for me.
You know what St. Patrick's Day was me thinking, I'm happy I'm not 24 anymore. That's all that was.
Well, Captain thinks he still
Listen,
is.
I thought I was 23 yesterday.
That stuff was horrible.
I'm hungover out of my mind right now.
Whatever gave it away.
You're wearing a hood inside of a heated studio.
Oh,
wait, is Anna coming back to get you, pick you up?
No. Oh shit! You gotta go back to the party.
I'm going back to the party.
Oh fuck! Let me tell her then.
You could go back. I don't know how much longer we're gonna stay. We'll figure it out. We'll go back there and you may have to kick it for an hour.
30 seconds, all clear.
All right, there we go. Don't say nothing.
Chaotic Radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
Hola, todas personas. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches, todas las personas. Es Chaotic Football. Este sábado, este domingo, a las 6 y a las 6 a las 8. Gracias por llamando. Gracias por. Hold on, I learned this today. Gracias por estar con nosotros.
There you go.
Hey,
Cheers.
do you like that,
That's
huh?
pretty good.
What's
Cheers,
up? What's
everybody.
up? The one rule we have here at Chaotic Sports, as always, is we are
Always
100% sucker free and 100%. Oh shit, we're breaking that rule in a big way tonight. We are breaking that rule tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you've heard us before, which I hope you have, there's quite a few of us listening right now. Protest away, but we are talking soccer tonight. We have in with us tonight. We have Junior. We going to go by Junior. What's your alias?
You can call me Junior.
You call Junior. Talk right in the microphone, Junior. Yeah.
Junior.
What's your radio name?
Yeah, what's your radio name? JJR?
The Beard.
JJ sounds good.
JJ sounds
JR.
good. The Beard?
The Beard.
The Beard works.
Yeah, Harden. We'll call him Harden.
Yes.
Yeah, Hard man. And we got piss in the corner, Jonathan. We're not going to start off that way, but I apologize. Was that a low blow?
Oh my god! Now I know what the
Too soon, dude.
It was too soon. I apologize.
Now I know why he didn't want to fucking work with you.
I do. You do know. Yes. Goal. Yeah. Ricky Martin. Nothing says soccer like Ricky Martin. I'm sorry, football, right?
This is your choice,
Soccer,
not mine.
football.
This is football. Awesome. Well, tonight is the night we are going to break our soccer cherry.
This is bullshit.
Yes, you can be angry Mexican. I mean, sorry, Captain Blackass. Be as angry as you want, but we are going to do it. You can always get a hold of us here at 909-360-8330. You can catch us on the Facebook and at the Twitter at Chaotic Sports. And we're not doing Gmail anymore. Gmail.
Are we done with it?
Yeah, snail. Like apparently,
Nobody sends you
email is the new snail mail. So yeah, we're just not doing that anymore.
It's pointless.
Yeah. So
I need it to open up every account that we need.
We've introduced JJ.
Yeah.
And
We got
Piss in the corner.
Justin, what would you say?
Pitsy? Pitsy. We'll call him Pitsy. P in the corner. Pitsy.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to say, is this Vida Loca playing right
Yes,
now?
that is.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Nice touch.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Hey,
So
we bring top quality shit to the show.
yes. So and then as always, I am your fearless host. I am the Jew, Jeremy G. Joined by Captain Blackass, and for a limited engagement this evening,
very limited.
Lamar Odom back there is bailing on us to go watch the Slippers play tonight. What's up, B?
Yo, how
Is
you
that
doing?
Yeah. What's that?
Are you promoting swatches now? Or?
No, the Slippers.
Oh.
The
If it
Slippers.
was Lamar Odom, he's going back to the Bunny Ranch.
Wait,
So.
what was-
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Just imagine Lamar Odom that night, just doing so many drugs and just banging away, and then at one point, just convulsing, just absolutely convulsing, and going, "This is how I'm going out." Fuck.
That's a good way to
It's
go
probably
out.
peaceful.
You
It's
think that was
probably really
peaceful? I see it.
Once you have that thought though, like
I see a
going out,
convulsing
it's probably
6'10" black man.
He started
who was about 40 pounds over his playing weight.
He started convulsing when the big black stripper came in.
When they told him how much it cost per girl. You ever watch that on HBO?
Oh no.
It's like $5 to $10 grand.
Yeah. That's
Like
ridiculous.
to have sex with a hooker for an hour. Like,
Wow.
Time out. Hold on.
Yeah.
I like my money more than I
How
like.
much do they cost for a minute though? That's all. I
Yeah,
need.
that's all you need. Pitsy only needs a minute. Oh my goodness, Pitsy. Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm only gonna go and get a half a beer there.
Yeah. Of course, there's always Anna's Healing Hands next door to us.
Yeah, down
So
the-
if you
down the way.
there's literally a massage parlor in an industrial park.
We saw it
in Rancho. How was it? How was it, Pitsy?
No, we saw it.
We saw it.
Yeah, I know. I
I'll
noticed.
tell you next time.
You texted me an hour and a half ago on our way. I was like, dude, I said 5:45, not 4:45. And then I thought to myself, yeah,
What were you guys doing?
Yeah, Anna's Healing Hands. It is. So
Is there an actual Anna in there?
whoa, we're calling this the soccer show. Holy shit!
What?
We're only doing 40 minutes of soccer.
Okay, listen, I'm done. I'm done.
It says the soccer show right here.
We haven't even started talking soccer.
I know.
yet.
I
We
mean,
haven't even
yeah.
started talking soccer.
Soccer.
Did you say 40 minutes?
40 minutes. Yeah, 40
Because
minutes.
the parlor closes soon.
Yeah, you need to get a little. I can hear you just fine, Pitsy, but you gotta get closer to the microphone there. Yeah. So yeah.
You interrupted his drink.
Yeah, no, I know. He's a PBR man. What do you expect? Yeah, just it runs in the can.
Salute.
Yes. So
I'm
boys.
sorry, I'm not a light kind of guy. My
Yeah,
bad.
no, that's fine. I went to a party where I had to buy beer for 6 other people, and I was like, "What would everybody like to drink?" Miller Lite.
No
You know?
one likes Miller Lite.
Wait, you
man.
know, I passed Miller Lite factory the off of 210 there on the way over here, on the way to the party. So look, I am
Only white honkies like.
tailgating beer. It's a great tailgating beer. Yes, it is. So boys, talk about soccer. Let's hear.
Really? That's the way we're going to start the show?
Well, no, because the other day this came up here because the other day JJR and I were talking at the Trabajo.
Who's
And-
JJR?
JJR
You
right
said
there.
the beard.
No, the beard. Harden. Harden and Pitsy.
I'll answer. I'll know.
Harden. Yo, JJ.
I think beard is more appropriate for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Harden. Yeah, you're hard. Yeah. What's up, B? So we're talking about. He's talking about I overheard him talking about like the Champions League or something like
talking
that.
about the Champions
And
League.
I really thought he was talking about some geeky like video game thing like that I usually catch him talking about at the office. But this time he was actually talking about live physical sports. So I was actually impressed that he wasn't talking about video gaming.
Nice.
It was. I was talking Premier League. I was talking Champions League. I said. I told my buddy. I said, "Who's the best team in the Premier League after Chelsea got kicked out?" And he just looked at me. He goes, "Yeah, but who-"
Leicester.
Yeah,
Leicester.
and he goes, "Yeah, well, who's the best league in all the world?" And I was like, "Whoa, slow down."
MLS.
Take it easy, bro.
We got 2 LA teams, bro.
Well, that,
Seriously.
Just like NBA.
Yeah. And what?
I guess it depends on how you're
Right, how you're
running
looking
the
at it, yeah.
statistics, but
His voice is way better than yours on radio. I think we might have to rethink this whole
Wow.
trio.
His voice is way better than yours. Maybe you should shut
Yeah,
the fuck up.
and he's got content too. Fucking A. Wow. Third chair.
damn.
Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, we do
Sorry.
need a new Alizé. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so
I better learn how to engineer them.
see? Go ahead.
That's the beauty of the Champions League is that you get to find out like all the leagues come in. You know, the best teams from all the leagues around the world, and
Okay.
I mean they play against each other and find out who's
All
the
right.
champion of the world.
Oh, the world.
Champions League.
That's a true world champion right there.
It is a true
Not
champion.
necessarily, Jesse. I hate to be that asshole, but I
no.
will be that asshole.
See, that's why I brought him. He's
Okay.
the checker.
Is this Pitsy talking now?
It's
I'm gonna,
Pitsy.
be
It's Pitsy.
I'm gonna be a pretentious cunt for a second.
Whoa.
Can I say cunt on
You
there?
can say whatever.
Listen, It's
Okay.
chaotic,
Foul mouth word you'd like
chaotic
to-
radio.
Okay, sorry. You make me piss in the corner was a cunt move. Just
Whoa,
throwing
whoa,
that
whoa!
out.
I haven't even told the story
slow
yet.
down.
I haven't even told the story
Let
yet.
the story come out. The people don't
God,
know.
Pitsy. God, man, he can't tell a story, and he ruins the
That's
ruins.
why I had to stay between you guys right here. I chose
There
the
it
right
is.
Ruins
That-
the
that is
punchline
the-
already.
that
Yes.
was already worked.
All right, now I can tell the story, son of a bitch. Okay.
Well, you better.
So Pitsy comes over to the house with Junior, I think.
Yes,
Junior
yes,
and
I-
Tota.
I don't know who
think.
Junior is.
Yeah, he's right there hard.
The
Yeah, the beard.
Yeah.
And he comes over to the house one night just to barbecue, and it was one of my single days, you know, and I was allowed to have as many, whoever the hell I wanted over at any time.
Those were dark times for you.
Yeah, so, and then, so at one point, Pitsy asked, hey man, and I'm gonna guess 20 years older than Pitsy, right?
Okay, yeah.
He respectfully asked me as the owner of the home.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all seriousness, and asked me, says, "Excuse me, may I please use the bathroom?"
Oh, okay.
And I said, "No, go piss in the corner."
What a dick.
And I'm being all
Middle of the day, by the way.
No,
It was about 3.
It was dark out.
No, it was the
It was
day.
about 3.
It was the daytime. Yeah.
It was 3. I remember.
You're out of your minds.
Nope.
Hold on. I know one of you was definitely out of your minds. It was dark as shit out.
I've been holding a grudge for years.
It was
I know
dark.
the story. All right.
about this forever. Anytime I bring you up.
Are you going to poison my other beer? I mean, how's this going to... You didn't see what car I drew up in, right? Okay, good.
Let me just say, I'm holding this one. I don't want you to drink this one.
It's a white pilot.
So I told him he cannot use the restroom. And mind you, I'm stone-faced bullshitting, right? But he just literally walked away to the corner.
Yeah. In shame, by the way. Like
Unzipped. Unzipped and pissed. And we
urinated his ass
were
away.
just dying.
No,
we were all
it was worse
dying.
Than that. It was worse than that because we're laughing and he's in the corner and he's he went over there all head down trying to take a piss.
He was kicking rocks on the way.
He's kicking rocks. He gets
Fucking
there,
asshole.
his head down, he's in the corner.
Fucking Jews.
And we're like all laughing. Ha ha ha, you're peeing in the corner. And he turns around and he goes, I can't pee with all you guys laughing at me, man.
Oh, performance.
I'd like
issues.
on record that never
Performance
fucking happened.
Yeah.
We forget things.
Okay, but was
I
this in the
pissed in
corner?
the corner like a man. I'll have that known on record.
Yes.
This was pissing in the corner in your house or outside?
Outside.
Oh shit! I
Oh,
was
yes,
confused right there.
outside.
I was like, that motherfucker just pissed in your corner.
That's why the lemon tree didn't grow for a couple of years. Yeah.
I think
I don't know
somebody
who
showed
won.
someone else
Yes, yeah.
what the deal was.
No, my dog now wouldn't allow that. He would have pissed right on top. He would have gone over there and just pissed right on top.
He would have
Yeah.
been on right over his leg.
Yeah, like, oh, hell no. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, Pitsy, now that the story's established here, go ahead and tell Junior Harden.
I wanted on record you're a rude asshole for doing that.
Whoa. That was a joke. That was a perfect joke. Hold on, we're going to bring it back. That was a perfect fucking joke
Listen,
that you didn't pick up on.
I liked
and since you went for it, I was like,
Listen,
I pee in my backyard. Hey, I'm taking out the trash at night. I don't feel like going to the bathroom as well. I'll just whip it out and just pee in my backyard, right?
Yeah.
listen.
I didn't have a problem with it. He took offense.
I didn't tell him to pee in front of us. I told him to go to the corner.
Yeah.
That's why it's Pitsy.
It wasn't
Pitsy.
like- it wasn't
the
like-
C is for the corner.
Astro had a problem with this.
Yes.
Yeah, Astro had a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, every time he's spoken onto the mic,
Yes.
which has been twice, is to insult you.
That's I have no.
He called you a cunt.
That's okay.
Is that not allowed?
I've never met.
This is internet radio. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
I've never.
We are looking for sponsors though, so we should probably tone that down.
Yeah, hey,
God bless you.
We did pass the Frito-Lay's factory, so maybe we should reach
praise
out
the
to
Lord.
them.
Oh, you know who works there is the Black Seedless, Dwayne. Remember Dwayne?
Oh, yeah,
yes,
no
that's
way.
who works. That's who works right
That's
there.
awesome.
Yes, that's
Cheers
awesome.
to Dwayne.
Dwayne, L'chaim.
Hope you're listening,
Yeah. What's
Dwayne.
up, Dwayne?
Cheers.
All right, go ahead. So go ahead, Pitsy.
All right.
Hold on. I've
guy.
never met a cunt Jew. By the way, that
Hello.
I think they're at Coachella this year.
Yes, Kunju's playing the Sahara tent at 2 p.m. on Sunday. There's no way you're gonna have any energy to get up from the campgrounds to go see him. But yeah.
Is that cunt Jew playing?
Sounds like a cunt Jew.
How does a cunt Jew sound?
I don't think we're getting any sponsors from the
No,
show.
not today.
That's how it sounds.
How does a
today.
cunt Jew sound?
Like that.
Ooh.
And he wears a Mind the Booby shirt.
I like that. By the way.
That's your new name,
I can't say anything.
cunt Jew.
No,
You are the cunt Jew.
we're still trying to get sponsors. So yeah, let's cut that
That's
part.
no promotion value.
Yes,
You can't
yes.
promote
No,
that
when
at all.
we get sponsors, you'll become the
CJ?
CJ. Yeah, we just got you CJ.
There you go.
Really? CJ?
Yeah. Like,
CJ?
It doesn't matter.
I start putting clone on too.
Or,
Sure. If you must.
or
You must.
Kitty Jew.
Yeah, hey, Unabomber, relax over there. All right, let's get back to some
soccer.
deportes.
Let's talk some soccer.
Football.
all right.
Correct me, please. I mean, I
All
don't know.
right, Champions League is basically the top leagues in Europe. The top teams from those leagues participate in a tournament in Europe. Pretty much.
Shit, my mic just fell off.
I saw that
Again, and
Nice
he
catch.
tore it off again. He did that 3 weeks ago, and that's a brand new mic stand. That's fantastic. Oh, Dutchy's gonna kill him. So tell me about the Premier. So is it essentially like all the playoff teams make it, or is it all teams make it to the Premier League champions? Like,
the
or
Premier League is just a league in England.
Yes.
And then you got Serie A, the league in Italy. You got the Bundesliga, the German league. You got La Liga, Spain.
Yeah, okay.
You know, every
Okay, I've heard of some of those. Yeah.
in Europe have their own league. So the top teams from these leagues participate in a tournament. It's a very elite tournament called the Champions League, right? So basically, you got the top team from England, Spain, Italy, Germany, Portugal, even Russia, and Switzerland. All the countries that have the top teams in Europe participate in this tournament called the Champions League. And basically, it's a tournament set up where. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I talk like this?
No need to apologize.
All right.
Let's move
Did the Russians get
it's
tested,
okay.
though?
It's okay.
Yes. No, they poison their opponents, but that's another time.
Yes.
It's a whole other story, another show.
We'll talk politics later.
That's a whole segment.
Hello.
Basically, top teams of Europe, the top teams from the top leagues participate in a tournament, and then whoever wins the tournament is crowned champions of Europe, Champions League. It's a very elite tournament. It's very important. People should give a fuck about it, like you. Because
I should care what happens to a European soccer league.
You should.
You should.
Wow.
I mean, if you care, if you have class.
No. I mean, when the World Cup comes out,
Yeah.
I give a shit a little bit more than I currently do. Okay, because I do realize how big of a deal it is to make the World Cup, to win, to advance the World Cup. I understand, and I see the freaking outedness.
Right.
It's the same thing with the Olympics. I don't watch much. I don't watch any sport from the Olympics any other time of the year.
The cool
but
thing
they're-
about the
yeah.
World Cup is, you see all the best players on their country's teams, and sometimes they're not the best players. Don't have the best teams around them.
Okay.
Like
But-
Messi.
Like Messi, Argentina, for example.
He's messy.
I thought he was Uruguayan.
He's Argentinian.
I heard a rumor last week.
I don't-
My buddy Fernando told me he's from Uruguay.
That's pretty
That
crazy.
sounds like a bullshit conspiracy theory.
That sounds like some conspiracy shit. A whole nother segment
Oh,
again.
Another segment. Conspiracy theories in soccer.
But when you watch the Champions League, I mean, what happens is these teams have money and they go and they get the best players and they put them all together. And so you're watching literally the best teams
in the world.
Period.
Does Iraq have a team?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they have a league.
They have a league. But
Do they play in cleats or sandals?
that's a whole that we might have. To
That's another
ask
segment.
somebody
That's
else
another
that
segment.
question. That's a Google question.
I mean, that was an issue. That was an issue in the past. They would get,
Well, they
the
start
players
with
the players were-
sandals. They
yeah.
start with sandals, and then when they make it to the big leagues, that's when they get
That's probably
cleats.
when
They get
Yeah,
cleats.
they get
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got it.
Players
I got it.
would get-
I mean, because when they took down that statue of Saddam Hussein, they were throwing sandals at it. I mean that
Were they wearing socks?
I don't know what they were wearing at that point.
I just want to know if it's just Jews or not. I mean,
Maybe they were just throwing the worst.
Jews and
might
black
just
people.
be a Jew
Jews
thing.
and black people. Come on.
Where they
Come
throw
on.
it-
Who else? Come on. Let's seriously. No. Who else wears socks with sandals? Asians do actually too.
I've done it.
I've seen him do it
I've done
plenty.
it when I'm cold. Yeah, and I don't want to like put shoes on. I just have my yeah, I'll do it.
That's the ultimate lazy move right
Yeah,
there.
it's
That's
like,
fantastic.
Listen. I don't know, man. Socks and sandals.
He's talking soccer. He wears socks and sandals. I'm out of here.
I'm done.
This
I'm
is
done.
the soccer show.
Mute my mic.
That's not a problem, sir. With pleasure. All right, so back to soccer.
Hey,
So
Premier's Championship League.
The best players in the world are all in the European leagues?
Basically, if you're a top-notch player, you want to go to Europe. Fuck the MLS.
Yeah.
Fuck the South American leagues.
Yeah.
Fuck everything. Europe
Really?
is like that.
So even the top Latin players are all in Europe?
They want to
They want
go.
to be.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the
That's the
ideal.
goal.
That's the they pay the most.
So the money,
you know?
the money. It's all about the money.
That's where the money
Pretty
is.
much.
Because
I
I'm
mean,
thinking La Raza
And the
is
host.
strong.
I mean,
So you
sure,
would think that if the money was close, you'd still stay home.
it'll never be close though. They're paying like they got players on like 250,000 pounds a week. Over there, you know?
What's that in American dollars?
Like 2,000. Sorry,
It's about
$20. $20.
$250.
I don't know, man. Like $275,000 or something like that.
No, I think pounds are almost 2 to 1.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I think so. It could be like
Pounds is
500.
stronger than the dollar.
500.
You're talking about
500.
$125,000 a week.
That's not. That's really.
That's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's really.
They
good.
get paid that.
And
throughout,
that's
so that's
be living
and
over
that's-
there.
Yeah.
I wish we had
Fuck,
something that
they're
we
living
could
like
look
you're
up,
living
like
good.
Yeah.
you know, a soccer player's salary. Maybe somebody like, you know,
Well, Messi just signed a new contract with Barcelona, and I think he
Barcelona.
got.
That was pretty good.
I think the whole thing is worth around. Fuck, I don't want to give out bullshit facts, so I'm gonna just say
That's okay. That's what we do on this show.
well, no, that's what welcome to internet radio, my friend.
We do
God
bullshit.
bless you, sir.
Feel free
I
to
think he
leave
got
a
some-
chat
I
if
think
you're
he got
watching.
something like
or
a-
call in.
a
Yeah.
$20 million signing on bonus.
If you want to call us on our bullshit here, 909-360-8330. You want to tell us who's the most handsome? That shouldn't be hard. I understand. I am married, but it's okay. Am I officially the only one married? I mean, technically.
I don't think you have a mirror at your home, huh?
They might be confused on what to
I mean,
call me.
To be fair, though, you got nice tits.
You're gonna be.
I do.
Yeah.
I do have
Wow.
nice tits. Wow. Wow. Call me.
Impressive, sir.
Hold on. On my own show. Wow, motherfucker. God damn it. Pitsy. Pitsy. Yeah, Pitsy. That was fun. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Yeah. Can't hear. I can't hear you, Pitsy. 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 I can't hear you. Can't hear you, Pits. I'll bring you back. I ain't that thin skinned.
You're a country with titties.
Fucking bitch.
Wow.
Talk about my tits like that.
Hey, bro.
I was complimenting.
Wow.
It is a compliment.
It really depends on which way you look at it.
You
Right?
wanna-
it is.
You want
It
to feel
is.
them up later?
No.
We'll talk about this off air.
Listen, this is a
I
different
thought you
show
were
now.
married.
Whoa. I
This is a different
I don't
show.
know how this happens. We go from soccer to his titties like quick.
It was
That's
fast.
what we do every show. That's why we call it chaotic sports.
Chaotic
Sports.
Okay.
No, but seriously, no. So it's the best players in the world. They're getting paid tons of money, and I wish there was like a device where we could find out how much they were making pay. But apparently, none of us
the
have a
reason why-
smartphone.
The reason why I enjoy it.
and our engineer left to go to a freaking Clipper game and just didn't even say goodbye.
Holy shit,
No
he
tears,
left.
no tears, no nothing. Like,
That's
dude,
fucked up.
that is fucked up.
He don't like us.
You called them the slippers. So
The
he probably didn't like
slippers.
it,
He
or
got mad.
whatever.
He got
He
mad at
didn't
that.
like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He didn't like it.
I would get pissed.
You know, as the Lakers get better, like I'm more cocky towards the
Yes.
Clippers.
Yes.
So maybe that came out.
The
Like,
Lakers,
that's fine.
The Lakers are not getting better.
oh my god,
What?
This is what I have to deal with every week.
What?
They're not getting better. They're obviously getting really good, and somebody's they have the
I just want
ability.
to hear your. I want to hear your perspective.
Next segment.
Okay.
We'll jump on.
Okay,
we'll
yeah,
jump
because
on
we
this.
were talking
Yeah.
soccer
hold on.
right now. This
Oh,
is a
just
soccer
talking
show.
soccer.
I'm sorry, you're right.
We only signed up for one segment. Dude, we can't afford him for two.
Fuck.
He might have to take an Uber home.
Yeah.
He might have to take an Uber home.
Oh man, it's
I still
fantastic.
got another Paps. I'm
have
good.
him. I have him here for the soccer to check me on soccer as he did.
Uh-huh.
I guess I said something wrong. I don't know what.
I
No,
don't know
it was
what
all good.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So yeah.
Soccer's cool. Yeah.
I personally, the reason why I like the Champions League is you like the World Cup.
Is it every year?
It's every year.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's
every
every year. And every year there's different competitors.
Okay.
What happens in each of their leagues, respectively, decides who goes into the Champions League. So
So
the top four,
like the winner and
the top four teams of each league or of the Premier League.
Premier League gets
in
4. Spain gets 4.
Yeah.
I think Germany gets 4 too, and Italy gets 4.
So
and then
basically-
everybody else gets 2. I think.
So basically, the number 1 and number 2, if you were talking NBA of the East and the
Okay.
Yeah.
they each go.
Okay.
That's pretty. I think that's pretty badass. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because not many sports have like I know you guys like like baseball and NBA and stuff, but soccer's
That's
very
racist,
interesting.
bro. He said you guys.
I
You
don't even
people.
know. I don't even know who that. That's a large encompassing scope. Man.
That was
He
me.
was
guys.
telling me you guys like talking about
Again, he
basketball
said
and
it.
baseball and shit.
Baseball.
I personally hate that shit.
No, listen. We like to talk about real sports. That's why.
Oh,
You know, the name
Okay.
Real Sports was already taken by Brian Gumble and asked
Yeah,
him for a
that's
few
why we
years.
didn't-
Yeah,
Or else we would have just nashed that
we
one out.
couldn't
But
do
yes.
it. We couldn't do it. We
Yeah.
don't have enough funding to be able
Anything
to
but
fight
soccer
that.
was
Licensing was all
somebody already had
caveats.
anything but soccer. Yes. No.
Sorry, guys, that we don't talk about soccer.
No, I mean, I guess I kind of equate it a little bit to the World Baseball Classic now, though, because the World Baseball Classic puts the best of each. Essentially, we're not really sending our best, but
Yeah, but nobody
we're sending
watches
at
that.
least. You're out of your mind. Nobody watches that.
I
watch
don't.
it. I watch it.
I don't.
religiously.
I don't.
Yeah, when it's on, I watch it religiously. I think it's fantastic.
I can see the appeal, but again, it's like I don't really give a shit because I mean I watch the best teams when I'm watching.
And then
MLB.
plus you have soccer all year long.
Oh, see, I think the national teams are better than a professional team.
Well,
Absolutely.
Well,
Well,
then
I agree with that sentiment. I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
he
you're
doesn't
playing
know shit
no,
about
I'm
anything.
talking about
but-
soccer though. Like when you're playing for your country, you're playing for pride, right? Kinda
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely.
Okay.
What country is he?
I just-
playing?
I guess I just don't care yet.
Venezuela and Puerto Rico last year, man, they freaking they
I'm
lost
sorry,
it.
I guess
Hey,
I just
Jew,
don't
what,
care
what
yet.
country are you playing for when you play soccer?
America, bro. America.
Fuck yeah.
No wonder you drink light.
Flagged. We just got flagged for that.
Yeah, we're
Wait, flagged? Wait, you got a PBR in front of you. We know what team you're playing for.
That's right, bro.
The West Hollywood Hammers.
The best.
Yes. What? No,
best.
wait,
I
no.
shouldn't clap.
There's a team in West Hollywood. You know that?
No, I that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be called the Hebrew Hammers, but then
How do you know
They
this?
changed that.
they changed
How do
it.
you know this?
I follow all the leagues, bro. I know all the leagues. All the
Yeah, yeah, all the leagues.
All the leagues.
All the
yes.
leagues. All the,
The intersexual. I follow all
do
the
they play without shorts?
intersexual. The shortest short shorts. You know the guy from Reno 911. You know his little shorts. You know that guy. They with only that size shorts.
And white cowboy
Can we
boots.
talk about soccer for like
Yes.
15 more minutes?
Yes.
Listen, I'm just
Let's talk
sitting here.
soccer.
I'm listening.
You want to? Do you want to? Call us out.
You want to tell me why you don't like soccer?
Yeah. How about that?
No, I'm going to ask you guys why you guys like soccer. What got you guys into soccer living here in the States where they play real sports?
My brothers were excellent soccer players.
Huh? What?
My brothers were both excellent soccer players growing up. They were captains of the high school team. I tried out. I was fucking horrible at it, so I joined theater naturally.
There you
But
go.
anyways,
Good
that's when my
transition.
brothers.
And that's why I'm behind a microphone now. Hello there, world. Let's talk about football.
Pitsy here's not just
Long
a,
con.
Yes.
Long con.
yeah, he's not just a pisser, but he's also a thespian.
Yeah, thespian.
I renewed it just yesterday. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The mail order is coming over. I don't know. Some
Yeah.
shit. Anyways, honestly, soccer's a beautiful point. Beautiful. Fuck, I'm drunk.
Wow.
So he puts in a bigger drink. I'm drunk.
Wait,
shit.
Where's B at? Because that's like you, but with more input. God damn, he can do it. What are you doing every Sunday night between 6 and 8 p.m.?
Probably drinking Paps.
I need backup.
Yeah.
That was good.
I need backup.
Yeah.
Here. Listen,
was
I'll
really
bring the
good, guys.
comedy. You bring the stats.
Everybody's fucked.
It's horrible.
We just lost 3 listeners.
Yeah.
Everyone left.
Yes, they did.
Everybody's
Even
gone.
our engineer. And he goes, don't worry, I got it covered. I got it covered.
Oh no, he told Dutchie, hey, you only go in on the 40 and the 20.
Dutchie's going to come over here. The station owner who loves soccer so much is going to come over here when we're done talking about soccer.
No. So I told him, and he's what are they? And I'm like, what do you mean? Are they American? I said, yeah. The fuck, they don't know shit.
He's not
true.
wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Listen,
I mean, I'm no.
Right, but you can know just as much about. I mean, you could. I know you have. There's
I
access.
could.
There's access to the European leagues anywhere. I can find it on an ESPN channel right now.
I don't go to drink points at the local pub, lad, so I don't know.
Damn, Paul,
Hey,
Paul
look at
McCartney. Wow,
no
thanks
wonder
for
he's
joining
a
us.
thespian. Look at that. Shit. That was impressive.
That's pretty good.
That was impressive.
He's been practicing a lot.
Since you told him he was coming.
No,
no.
since high school. Since
Oh,
since the
shit.
soccer team thing.
That's a long time.
Since
man.
the soccer team thing.
I got booted off the soccer team, and
I better start working on this
accent.
accent.
I'll have you know I did cry after that news. I did.
Listen, so you got cut from the soccer tryouts.
No, I never made it to begin with.
Not even to the tryouts.
He
I
didn't even
get
make
a
it
chance to
the
get cut.
They closed the gate on
But
you.
you're like my brothers.
didn't
My
even let
brother.
him
My
write
brother
his
is.
name
Do you know who my brother is?
Exactly.
Write his name down.
He couldn't even write his name down. They said, "No, you get the fuck out of
Just
here."
get out.
Practically.
So then, as you were kicking rocks away from the soccer field,
Sure.
the only thought you had was,
I want McDonald's.
"I should become an actor."
Hello.
Pretty
How
much.
How did that come together?
Physical activities.
Marijuana. A lot of weed.
You
Wait,
went home
in high school?
and smoked the biggest bowl your brain could take.
Yes.
It was illegal back then.
Hey, well,
Well, I mean, what the fuck?
Listen.
You gonna rat on me? What are you fucking
listen, fucking
FBI
po-po.
over
retroactive
here?
police?
Fucking
Po-po?
narc?
You know, I just left a party where there was a sheriff was at. I can
But
get her
you
over here.
left.
I can get her. You know where?
But
You know
you
what street
left.
she lives off of?
Listen,
I don't
we're
wanna
gonna
Archibald.
Wait.
we're gonna go over there. We're
are
gonna
gonna go.
walk out of the car holding our fucking PBRs. You're gonna light up a fucking bowl.
Okay.
And we're gonna walk in there and say,
What's up? Yeah.
"You got no jurisdiction. You're in your county."
Oh,
Sheriff.
Have you met my sister-in-law? Good luck with that one.
She's a twin, right?
You'll be you'll be in jail.
Oh,
Yes.
she remembers me, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you're Angie's little brother.
Yeah. So I might get away with it.
Ooh, I don't know if that gets you points or takes away points.
But I'm not the same person.
I'm not the same person I used to. Wait, she's been in your home before, hasn't she?
Yeah.
My sister.
Oh,
my
has she?
sister's been in his home before.
Why?
Dutchie's back.
Dutchie's.
Oh, Dutchie. Hello, Dutchie. On the left-hand side.
Yes, I love messing with
We
that.
should talk soccer.
He's 4'11".
No, he's not.
He's gonna come in here and beat
five,
the living
5'2".
crap out of you.
You can't hear yet.
I love
He's
the
got
black
it
lights
playing the
in
whole
restaurant.
time.
He's got the mic. He doesn't put until he puts the headphones on. He can't hear shit.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're okay.
All right, so Pitsy told us how he not made it into soccer.
Hey, pick a name then. I guess.
No, it's too late.
No. He's
It's just one of those things when you've been given a name.
wow.
It's like high
We're still
school
working
all
on you.
over again.
Yours,
you guys have been flip-flopping on me.
Listen, we just rejected him right now. What's he gonna do next?
No, he's you eat McDonald's on the way home too?
I don't know. Can we, dude?
I'll take you.
Fair enough.
You know,
I got you a Happy Meal.
Captain
I
Black,
got you a Happy
Captain
Meal.
Black S and I last week hit up the hat. Last week on the way home,
That was
yeah,
probably a
that was
bad idea.
that was a really bad idea. Yeah.
It always sounds like a good idea.
Pastrami sandwich and chili cheese
Yeah,
fries
it's
at
like,
9
wow,
o'clock at
that
night.
sounds
Oh yeah,
great.
At 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, we got there. Yeah, it smelled great. We had it. It was not good.
No. It was, no, it was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't good. The best part of the night was. Tell me if I'm underguessing this.
Getting home.
A 75-year-old married couple came in and ordered the hat and sat down and enjoyed it together.
Yes.
And I just sat there and went, man, I want to be them when I grow up. If you're still eating the hat at that age,
You're all right.
You did something right.
They were relatively. They weren't like big people. They weren't. Definitely not. They were not either one of our guys. They were skinnier than everybody in this fucking room. That's for. I apologize again. So yes,
A little rude, but fair enough.
Yes, no, it was accurate.
I'm working on it.
I know we're all working on it.
Sorry.
Well, that's why I'm drinking light beer. Yes,
that's
real classy, bro.
You need to drink like a whole barrel of that shit.
Yeah. So the 75-year-old couple eating freaking.
That's pretty cute.
9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. That's cute. Hold on, there you go, right in front of the
I've always
microphone.
wanted to do this.
You do it. You did it before too. That actually sounded really crisp and clean.
He's getting good at this.
I found
It's like the deeper these get.
Yes.
I found my white twin.
Yes.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm Nicaraguense, bro.
Nicaraguense.
I wouldn't
You
say
heard
that
that
out
come
loud.
out?
Yeah, yes.
Heard that come out?
Right.
So
That's
that
pretty.
was-
That's pretty. White. That's pretty white though, right?
I wouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Mexicano.
There you go.
Bro. Yeah.
Hey,
Wait, how good is Nicaraguencia's team?
we're actually
horrible.
fuck you.
They
dude.
play with the Selvies.
Yes.
I may or may not have already known that.
Oh man, that's a good.
I just
burn.
knew that I've never heard them mentioned before.
That's a
so
really good burn.
yeah.
They put the Guats and the Selvies playing together.
But didn't
They all have like a tri team.
Yeah. Hey,
but I know
Tri
that-
county team.
yeah, Tri-County team. Yeah, that's what it is.
But the Chileans team sucked for years, and now they're good now, right?
They actually didn't make the World Cup this
They're
year.
never good.
So they won the South Copa
They
America.
won the
Cup,
Copa
right?
America and they didn't make the World Cup
That's
this
fine.
year.
Either did my team.
What is your
What's your
team?
Is Israel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's to be expected.
well, that's on another side.
Oh,
Isn't
sorry.
it?
Israel's
It's
not your
South
team.
America, really.
Israel, bro.
It's Poland, bro.
They pour hummus all over the ball.
Poland.
Yeah.
Poland.
They cover the ball with hummus. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Is
The
that-
man, the myth, and legend just
Was
walked
that
in. That was him. I think I just saw a ghost. That's fantastic.
That was like a Batman move right there.
Is this? It's a fucking. Wow.
Well, we can talk soccer.
We were talking soccer.
I think that guy's my hero,
Dude,
dude.
he is. I think he's had more.
He's my hero.
I think he's had more tail than all of
They
us.
both have leather jackets on.
Dude, that's fantastic. That was a leather trench coat
Well,
right
let's
there.
get
That's
something
actually-
straight.
That was Columbine level.
That-
right there.
that is
Mine is
Columbine level.
pleather, okay? Let's not get anything wrong here.
You are Nicaraguencia after all.
See, you should have never told us you were a Nick.
You call him Nicky?
Nigga,
Nicky,
what?
there you go.
Pitsy.
That's better than Pitsy.
No, his name's Pitsy.
Nicky?
Honestly, I prefer Pitsy, bro.
Yeah.
He's even denying his heritage.
Little Nicky.
No, I just don't like Nicky, dude.
Nicky. Hey, Nicky.
You make me sound like a cheap whore.
That is a cheap whore.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And?
so?
What's wrong with that? She still
You're
makes
drinking
money.
Paps.
You get, at least get some action.
You're drinking Paps.
She still makes money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
She's
so
winning the
that's true.
Pitsy, shut up.
Can we start? I mean, we.
No, let's talk
Hey,
soccer. Let's
hold
talk
on.
soccer.
My
Yeah, he was
question-
gonna say something.
I had a question,
Yeah.
and Pitsy just took over the mic.
It happens
saw that.
sometimes.
The beard. How did you get into soccer? Being
You know,
an American.
actually, great question, and I really
Yeah.
want to tell the story.
Yeah.
I got into soccer because my friend here, he's into soccer, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't fucking know about soccer.
Yeah, because I personally know your family, your father. He's not baseball. Yeah, it's all baseball.
Yeah.
It's anybody who came
and
from.
he doesn't care about the Mexican league.
No,
He's like, whatever.
Nope, doesn't care.
Yeah.
Only cares about who in
baseball,
the,
football.
Who in the major leagues is from the same town in Mexico he's from. Is that an accurate statement?
I'm sorry.
Your father.
Okay.
It's like his only allegiance to baseball is whoever's from Tepa. Correct? I mean,
Sure, yeah.
Because he talks shit about the Dodgers and the Angels. It doesn't make a difference
Yeah, well,
who it
the
is.
Dodgers, I think, broke his heart after '88.
Oh,
they in the '90s, they just started kind of falling off.
Yeah,
he was like,
we all got like that.
I hate the Dodgers
I
now.
never-
And
I never
he was
got
like,
that.
oh, the Yankees and shit, like because like the Yankees were good for a while. And he's
Well,
like,
they have a lot of money.
I'm sorry, I've been cursing.
That's okay.
But no, he just looked at me funny.
No,
he looks at everybody.
I was shocked to hear that that man who I respect at one point was a Yankees fan.
Well, he just likes teams.
He likes winning
Yeah,
teams.
he likes winners.
Yeah,
he likes winners.
Except for the Lakers for some reason.
It's because
even when the Lakers were winning,
You
he
know,
didn't
that's
like those.
funny.
That's what the hater. I've always seen the hate as a sports fan from the man.
He says he doesn't like Kobe Bryant, so now he might give the Lakers a chance.
That's why he liked me, because we don't
There you go.
dislike the same amount.
He is a
of
Kobe
people.
hater as well.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
so-
Yeah, he just doesn't like Kobe, so he's like, yeah, fuck the Lakers.
Ask him why, and it'll probably be the same reason why I don't like
He
him.
probably couldn't come on the show and tell you why.
That's because we might get thrown off the air.
Yeah, we might
by the
never come
FCC,
back
who has no
again.
control over us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They would figure out where the hell we were and go, guys, you're done.
Yeah,
yeah.
they would
I
find
know.
us.
I know you're not internet radio. You're good. You can say whatever you want, but you're done.
Yeah, that's yeah. You don't want to ask him.
No. He's an old. Let's just say
I do
he's
wanna
an
ask
older.
him.
He's older guy. He's an older guy, and older people have certain viewpoints.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Captain
I don't-
Black Ass, relax with that comment.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. Just you're fine.
You don't.
You're good. Everybody's fine here.
Yes.
All right, so continue on with your soccer.
So I'm like, you like soccer? That's that's cute, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Weirdo. And so I started getting into soccer, and like, what's your favorite team? He's like, oh, I like Chelsea, London, whatever. And I just started looking into it, and around the time I started looking into it, the Manchester City was bought by one of some oil tycoon.
Oh, okay.
I think it was
Doesn't matter. It
Doesn't
doesn't matter.
We
By a
don't
lot
care.
of money.
We don't. Yeah.
And that's what I read.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, right. Manchester City, boy. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew even if it wasn't now the time, money talks. It's soccer. It's Europe.
Now-
They're gonna get the players.
Now I'm going to ask you guys a very serious question.
Sure.
Hold on. Wait a second. Go ahead. It's never happened before, guys. So I apologize.
Sure.
What?
Go ahead.
I know it's all like
It's
it's
the
like a
both- the both-
cliffhanger from Jeremy.
The both of you, like
Sure.
Jeremy, know a lot about your sport.
Not
Did you
really.
guys actually play the sport?
As
We know Pitsy didn't.
as a child,
I tried.
as
man.
a
I
child,
tried.
as a
They didn't
child,
let you sign up.
As a child, they took me as a little kid, and I have memories of kicking a ball around with my cousin.
Okay.
And there's like cones and shit, but it's all very hazy and a long time ago. And
Why is it
basically,
hazy?
It's a long story.
Yeah,
But
wait,
but,
how much?
but no,
how
I
much
was
family
no
is
good.
listening?
I was
Yeah.
no good, and,
okay.
and it was just sports were never really.
You know what
thing
I'm
for my
getting at
family.
is because Jeremy also knows a lot about sports, and I don't think he ever played a sport.
A sport at all.
sport. at all.
Not once.
Unlike you guys, I did have to go. I had to go to. I played a lot of neighborhood sports.
Well, first of all, tell them what school you went to.
I
That's
went
why
to
you
Sherman Oaks Center for Enriched Studies in Reseda.
And how did you say that?
Yes, that's Sherman Oaks Center for Enriched Studies in
I've never
Reseda.
even heard of that.
Classy, dude.
It's not the Reseda Center for Enriched Studies. It was the Sherman Oaks Center for Enriched
Sherman
Studies.
Sherman Oaks. Yeah.
In Reseda.
In Reseda.
And
Sounds like a made up
I did
thing.
It is.
I did letter in volleyball
Wow.
for a school that had no volleyball team.
So you
Bravo,
so
dude.
you
We
faked
practiced.
high school.
All we did was we practiced. It was fantastic. No, and then
faked your high
no,
school?
I had to go to Hebrew school. As the Jewish, the Jewish
okay.
male of my family, I had to go to
You're
Hebrew
Jewish?
school. Yeah, and then so I wasn't able to join sports league. I wanted to play baseball from the time I was 6,
Yeah.
7 years old. I couldn't do it. But I played as soon as I had my bar mitzvah when I was 13. The next year, when I was 14, I decided to get into little league.
He's all laughing.
Yeah, the word bar mitzvah isn't funny.
It's
kind of
it's
funny.
the idea of you having a bar mitzvah.
You didn't have a bar mitzvah. You
Yes.
had a mavitza.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means either.
what
No,
that
he
means.
does. Yeah. So, yeah. So I did.
He does know what it is.
I did play.
You know what it is. You guys saw The Wedding Singer. They explain it there.
Of course.
Okay, great.
When he wrote that song, he was
Oh,
listening
no,
to
my
Cure a
bad.
lot.
Too obscure.
Bavitza.
Too obscure
You
of a
still,
reference.
you still don't. You still
Which
don't
one's
know.
the female one?
Bat mitzvah.
And-
It's the same word except instead of an R, it's a T. Thanks, genius.
It's not the same word.
I know.
He just said it's
You
a
said
T and an
bat-
R.
Technically,
Titzvah.
he's right.
He said bat
Technically, he's
titzvah.
right.
What happened? What
Yeah.
happened? You had
I don't know.
you had a moment earlier. You were a little freaked out. You said this has never happened.
Oh,
before."
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Well,
were
no, that he was going to ask a serious question.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
He confused us all, right?
Yeah, I
You know-
thought that
you know,
was. I thought he
that's-
actually had something to say.
Yeah,
That's a wild
because
card.
he
Well,
was
I
looking
did know. I did have something to say. I did have something to say. That the fact that I played 1 year of Little League baseball,
Oh yes.
won the championship. I'm not going to tell you I was an integral part of the team because that would be a lie.
But you were on
I
the
was-
team.
The way
Yes.
you said it makes it seem like you were like single-handedly did it, like carried the team.
No.
on your back.
No. I did happen to win the championship over a neighborhood friend who I'm still friends with to this day, and we still come up in conversation. But yeah, so you know,
See my point?
see my point with what? Yes, I
Yeah,
see
I
your
don't- I
point.
don't
I'm
know.
so confused. Okay, Captain.
None of us
Hold
have
on.
played sports, I
Guess
think,
what?
Captain.
We got our man Dutchie back there. He's actually listening to us. He's actually can talk to us. We were talking about soccer for about 35 minutes there, Dutch.
I thought you were going to save it for me.
No, first 40 minutes. These guys, I can't
we're
afford them for
ready.
the second segment.
We need somebody.
Yeah, I
to
don't
guide
Can't
us.
afford them.
Yeah, you don't think?
Oh, you're going back to baseball.
Yeah, no, we
Spring League.
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Spring training.
spring
The
training,
Dodgers lost
actually.
2 games today in spring training. Can you believe that?
There's no games.
No, they lost 2
There's
of them.
no games.
No, they did. They lost
They
2 of
don't
them.
count.
They're training games.
It's
It's just like, see, in soccer, we don't even talk about it. We
yeah,
don't
no,
show
it's
it.
soccer. You just and in ties. It's
Now, what we
easier.
do in soccer is we come to America and make millions off of idiots watching fucking friendlies.
See, that's why we were talking shit about the MLS. That's why we were talking shit about the
Why
Oh,
don't we
I
put
could get-
Manchester City together with Real Madrid, put them in the Rose
Let's
Bowl, and you
go.
fucking idiots will pay 180
Millions.
Crazy
Yes,
amounts of
I
money.
agree.
Millions.
It's
Agreed.
amazing.
I agree. That's
And then by the end of the game, it's the youth team on this field.
I too
It's
hate
true.
Man
It's
City,
all
sir.
yes.
It's not a matter of hating Man City. It's a matter of waiting for American soccer, not the soccer itself, but the actual people who watch it to know what the fuck they're looking at.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Oh, no.
this is
I
not
thought
a
it
court.
was great.
We
It's
encourage
very
it.
fitting.
Frankly,
Welcome to our
it's-
fucking show.
These
music
guys
to my
aren't leaving,
ears.
are they?
No, they're going to.
I don't know.
All right, because we're going to commercial.
Yeah.
We got to we do have to go
Okay,
commercial.
let's go to commercial.
Catch us on the flip side. We may talk a little more soccer.
I think we might
I
talk
think
a little
Dutchie's
bit
here.
because he set up some music to play, and I just erased that because I'm playing my fucking music.
There you go.
All right,
Do it.
Fucking Captain Black, yes.
and we got a commercial. We'll be right back.
All right, I'll see you in 2 or 3.
Ozzy's going to Wembley, his knees have gone all trembly. Come on, you Spurs, come on, you Spurs. Ozzy's going to Wembley, his knees have gone all trembly. Come on, you Spurs, come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs are on their way to Wembley. Tottenham's going to do it again. They can't stop them, the boys from Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. Spurs are on their way to Wembley. The Kings are claiming the throne. Everybody will be singing when the Spurs go marching home. We are the boys of Keith's army, and we're marching off to war. We're sending our soldiers to Wembley under General Birkinshaw. We know the enemy will fear us in the battle.
Punk bands that were around in the 90s here. I don't know if you heard the festival that the guy from Blink-182 is doing in Huntington Beach. All punk bands.
When? I haven't heard anything about it. Long Beach or Huntington Beach? Oh yeah, this is like the 3rd year for it.
Yeah.
The Punk Beach is the Long Beach Punk Festival.
No, it's Back to the Beach. It's called.
Oh, back, yeah.
Back to the Beach. Yeah, what's his name? The drummer from Memphis. And one other guy.
much time we got?
You've got about 3.5 minutes.
Oh. Fantastico.
Elvis! Yep.
A minute and a half.
Still got a minute and a half, boys.
Atmosphere's bobbins. Grab that tambourine.
All right, Dad, let's kick it. Plus a minute of a good soccer song. It's called Meat Pie Sausage Roll. Come on, England. Give us a go.
I love it. Is that how they play for one of the teams?
Yeah, for England. Sausage roll? Meat Pie Sausage Roll. Come on, England. Give us a go.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
Elvis! The atmosphere's bobbins. Grab that tambourine.
All right, Dad, let's kick a good beat.
Sausage roll, come on England, give us a go. Meat pie sausage roll, come on England, give us a go.
Oh, I gotta love it. Oh,
We got a corner.
Down at some fun.
That's our boy right there, Dutchie, bringing us in strong. Meat pie sausage roll. Come on, England, give us a go.
We're talking soccer.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that, Kenny.
You can't.
That's gold.
That's simply perfect right there.
I want a bone to that song.
Yes. Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine the meat pie sausage roll?
Hey, the video's even better.
Oh,
Show it to your woman on a Saturday night.
Oh, hell yeah, honey. Honey, I'm about to give you the meat pie sausage roll.
This is good.
That is fantastic, fantastic. Thank you all for coming back with us. What is up? What is up? It is the soccer show here at Chaotic Sports. The Chaotic Sports shows every Sunday between 6 and 8 p.m. You've joined us again for the second segment here. As always, I am the Jew, Jeremy G. Got Captain Blackass filling in for B right there. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Dutchie back there
on the left-hand side.
And for
exactly.
And for a second segment, we got the beard. And we got Pitsy. Pitsy and the beard are here with the. I like that. I'm going Pitsy and the beard next time.
That's fine.
Because that sounds. I hate to say Pitsy sounds like the lead dog, and the beard sounds like
that's the other band that's playing at Coachella.
Pitsy and the beard playing Coachella.
Band, yeah.
Maybe they're playing that. Maybe they're playing that punk show you were trying to tell Dutchie about.
We're actually folk, all right. Let's get it straight.
Yeah, who
plays the beach or
somebody plays banjo.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's a good name for any fucking band.
Yeah, Pitsy and the beard.
Boom.
Pitsy and the beard.
Yeah, there you go. Dutchie would know.
You want in? We're looking for a drummer.
Oh,
I don't drum.
What in your day? You were in bands, obviously, right?
Bassist.
Were you in bands at one point, Dutch?
Oh, I'm in a band now.
You're in a band now. What do you do? What are you sing? I gotta say you're the singer, right?
I'm the singer and the bass player.
Fuck yeah!
I'm a little bit of both.
Told you he's a bass player. I knew it.
Why is that? What are you saying? Because everyone who thinks there's a bass player in their house means that you normally think, you know what, he's not clever enough to be the guitarist.
No. Because it's always the strongest guy in the fucking group who wants the biggest fucking instrument.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it is. Jimmy, not. Fucking Van Halen, that little short fat fucker.
Hey, so now I'm short and I'm fucked.
No. He was. I can't remember. Yeah. So yeah. No.
I played the baritone sax. And shit is about this big.
Pretty much except for Duff. Duff is a 6'4" bass player, which doesn't make any sense. But
he's a genius.
Duff is a genius. I don't know about that. So we were talking soccer in the last segment. I think we're talking soccer again.
I think we should, just because, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, fuck though. I mean, I had a great guest on our previous show,
Yeah.
Fucking guy's a legend, in punk music.
Oh, really?
Were we around royalty earlier and we didn't even know it?
Yeah, he didn't even know. You never
tall
would.
guy?
Is that the one who smoked marijuana in a studio?
No, I caught that fucker last week.
Oh.
He's done.
No, somebody just did earlier in the show
he
before
did.
us.
No, he did. Yeah, he walked in with it in his hand, and we go, "Whoa, put that fucker out!" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know."
Yeah, my bad. Am I not allowed to smoke
now
drugs
you
in here?
fucking do.
It's an honest mistake. Let's be honest. It's an honest mistake.
Hey, can you pass me my heroin needle, please?
So what's going on in the world of soccer, gentlemen?
No, I want to talk about what we were talking about before, Dutch.
What were you talking about?
Because I, as a soccer hater, not apologist hater,
right,
think the idea of a friendly is just the most insane thing ever. And you brought that up and sparked that to me. Like, why would anyone pay to go see a game that doesn't matter for anything? Because for your analogy before, spring training, they're actually working on getting in shape for the season. You're playing with your own teammates.
Right. It's just the terminology.
But who's to say they're not doing the same, Real Madrid comes to California.
Turn his mic around so it's the right way. He's talking in the front of it. It should be in the side.
Like this?
There you go.
Alrighty.
I just blame the fucking host of the show. What a dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
No one's ever sat there before.
He's kind of a cunt, isn't he?
He's a big one. Big one.
Whoa, Pitsy. You better watch it,
Slow
Pitsy.
down.
You cunt.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
We're still looking for sponsors. Remember that. 909-360-8330 if you want to call into the show or you want to give us some money so we don't have to pay.
That's a good sign to
No, but honestly, who's to say that when Real Madrid, or like you said, Man City comes to town, they're playing. It's like a finesse match. They're practicing. They're getting warmed up for the season. And okay, they're gonna make money off of suckers that want to pay that shit.
Right.
So is it like the Pro Bowl?
I don't know what that is.
No, it's
the football.
not,
That's like
dude.
the football all-star game.
Let me
it's
put
like
it
spring
this
training.
way. When the NFL has its first exhibition game,
Correct.
what would you consider that?
Practice game.
The first
Like the
NFL exhibition game, what the fuck would you consider that?
It's training. It's
Like preseason.
practice.
But it's different. You're playing against the same people you would play against normally.
And how long does the starting quarterback, how many snaps does he take?
No, he doesn't
Well, I mean,
come out.
I hate to
He
tell you,
doesn't even come out.
in modern day, it's shit, and I get your point. I mean, I get the equivalent.
So that's
of that.
the equivalent.
It is.
Except for the difference is,
Because they only play three quarters in one game.
American soccer fans have been.
Well,
Fucking-
Americans in general we're
it's not that,
we're
dude.
easily pleased by names. So you say that Manchester or whoever's coming, Tottenham's coming, and you get excited before even thinking, I'm going to get fucked on this. And I'm a Jew, so I think the first thing I think about is I'm getting fucked on this.
But at the same time, dude, like, not many people have the money to go fly to fucking England and watch Tottenham, or fly to fucking Spain and watch Real Madrid or something.
It's cheaper than buying a ticket with a fucking Rose Bowl.
True. But not many people really critically think that way. You know what I mean?
No, seriously though, if you want to go and see so are you paying your money to go to the Rose Bowl to see a Real Madrid against Manchester United? Are you paying that money just to see the players? Because you're certainly not planning to see a real game.
Agreed. I think that's exactly what they're paying the money for. It's just to say, hey, look, I got to see Ronaldo play for 15 minutes. I got to see Messi. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So, it's like a bragging tale.
It is, yeah.
So, and I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a waste of fucking money. Yeah. But I could see why people would waste it, to be honest.
Hold on.
I could see why.
I got to do something right now. Listen, Pitsy.
Yeah.
You turn the mic. That doesn't mean you have to turn yourself all the way around.
Yes, I know.
You're like this.
It actually does now. It actually sounds perfect right now.
Yeah, he can turn the mic to
so someone fucking show him, be the fucking host and be the fucking guest. And
there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Does this suffice for you, sir?
Yeah.
Yes,
don't ever fucking do anything
the
he says.
Jew right here just let you be uncomfortable. You're like,
he wasn't uncomfortable. He was spitting perfectly fine.
He was facing the beard.
Yeah,
the
it was
whole
kinda
time.
weird.
Maybe he would like to face.
It was
the
like,
beard.
who says that was my idea the whole time, man? I mean, look at that fucking beard. You want to stare at that
That
shit
is
all day?
fantastic.
Thank you.
It is quite polished. It is quite polished tonight.
That's
Thank
like an
you.
Iraqi beard right there.
I've heard that before.
Wait, you haven't seen his cousin? Holy shit!
Tota?
Oh my god. That poor guy. Okay, so but
What?
Back to your analogy. I used to have Chargers tickets, and I would go down to San Diego all the time. You could have never paid me to go down for a a preseason game because it's just I'm not paying any money. It pissed me off that they forced me to buy the tickets for the preseason games because I didn't want to pay for a less than product. You know, I got no problem paying $100 a ticket for the games if it's a real game. I'm not. Fuck your friendlies.
I agree. Friendlies are shit. I mean, I wouldn't go pay for those, but I understand that some people would. You know,
Who are the people that go?
Families, I think. Like he said,
think
you
that's
go
what it
take
is,
your
yeah.
you go take your kids.
I'm pretty sure when something like that comes around, the Rose Bowl's full. Dutchie, am I wrong?
Oh, it's full, yeah.
It's completely the Rose Bowl, the Coliseum, wherever they're having it.
Oh yeah,
and for sure as shit, Home Depot's full. You know,
It's kind of like when the Cowboys come in, do their little.
when the Cowboys come to town, everybody, but the Cowboys don't come to town. I guess that you can only go. I guess the same. I guess you're right. It's the same thing. Yeah. The Cowboys don't always come to LA, so you have to have your chance to be able to see them. So.
And it's all families that are coming out to watch them, and you're not even watching anything.
Is that why there were so many fights this past year during the Rams versus Cowboys game at the Coliseum?
See,
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, it was huge. It was so many fights. It was actually not this season. It was last season because the Rams have their training camp in Oxnard.
Right.
So they have that because there are so many Cowboys fans.
in LA,
there's as you probably know,
it's a lot of Cowboy
Mexicano. Mexicans were forced.
Fucking dare you, bro.
It's actually fact. Mexicans were force-fed the Raiders and the Cowboys during the 70s, and at one point they marketed specifically to Mexican people who lived in Mexico, and they actually still to this day have buses that come from central Mexico and go to Cowboy Stadium and go wherever the Raiders are playing just to see those teams, and they bust them in, and they all, I guess they're all like legit, you know, but probably have
There's a lot of Redskins fans down in Mexico too. I believe that.
Really?
Really?
That's true.
Well, I have never heard that.
That is true. My uncle is from Mexico. He's a big Redskin fan. My cousin down there.
How did they get into
the same way that, like you said, they were feeding the Cowboys? They found out about the rivalry and were like, "Fuck those fucking guys!" Like
they just hated the Cowboys so much.
They're like, "Let's go Redskins."
So it's sort of like me, who I hated the Raiders so much growing up that I had to be a Rams fan. You know, it's not like I bled with the Rams. I just hated the Raiders. Okay.
So what did they force feed the Jews?
Oh, just the concentration camps. You know, just little crackers and stuff. You know, gas. Wow,
it's got dark.
It get dark.
Jeez.
Yeah. So back to soccer.
We were
here.
talking about soccer
This is worse than any punk show I've done.
Yes. How dare you?
We went from soccer friendlies to like the dark place.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's okay.
They served crackers?
That's all they got, one cracker a day, you asshole. Do you see how skinny those motherfuckers were?
I don't even.
I thought you meant crackers as in white people.
They were all white people.
Hey.
No, you guys aren't white people.
Wait.
Whoa.
Really? So your nationality and your religion are not two different things anymore?
Yes.
I thought this was a sports show.
That's what I thought.
Dutchie,
Me too.
You've never listened to us, have you, Dutchie?
Never.
Thanks,
And after
Judge.
this,
Just-
I never will.
As long as your fucking check clears, I don't give a shit, motherfuckers.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
No,
No, I am.
He's
I
getting
wish.
paid.
Why do you
That
think
guy's
I'm
getting
fucking
paid.
smiling? And
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's got a smile on his face.
Well played, sir. Well
Yeah,
played.
good. That's a good move.
I'm the one check he gets, the one person he gets a check from that he never has to think about whether it's going to be good or not. Yes.
So now I'm going to ask you guys. this.
Okay, ask us away.
The two
Nicaragua.
soccer fans.
Pitsy and the Beard.
Yeah, Pitsy and the Beard.
Yes.
Have you guys ever gone to go watch a game overseas? What is wrong with?
No.
Continue. Well,
Mexico?
why not?
Mexico?
No.
Never seen a game in Mexico?
No.
Really?
Chivas?
No.
You Chivas man?
Fuck no.
Whoa, Americas?
Hey, shh. Nicaraguense, take it easy.
Fuck no.
Is there a Latin American team that you go for? A La Liga team?
La Liga is Spain.
Well, no. So what's the Copa?
Okay, so what team?
CONCACAF.
Fuck CONCACAF.
CONCACAF.
So what do you
who's
think?
your team?
Huh?
So what do you think about the MLS teams in the CONCACAF Champions League?
They're honestly this year they're doing well.
Dude, they're doing well. They're in the semis, right?
Yeah, they're doing well. We got 3 teams, I think. Right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't see the third one.
Captain, I think we just lost our show.
Yeah, we're
Nonetheless,
over. It's over. Who's in?
The MLS is good, man, but I really think they should honestly look into relegation. I really think that's the way to go from here.
Has to be if they're going to continue
Exactly.
expanding the way
Did I
they
say
are.
relegation?
Yeah, I think
Because
RELEG.
Relish?
The way it's set up is
Relegation.
just for the big cats to make cash. But
That's
I mean,
American sport, though.
I agreed. I could see why the franchise owner don't want that, but at the same time, I think if you really want to grow the U.S. national team, you want to grow the U.S. players, even the Canadian players, anyone in the MLS, you have to adapt the relegation. Because at the same time, it gives incentive. It gives you that fight. Okay,
Hey,
all right, you
listen.
finished last place. Fuck it, we're gonna go back to the next. We're back next season.
These guys look so confused right now. They
We're
have
at the
no
same time,
idea.
like I mean, you look at the Premier League, you look at the fucking Bundesliga or anything like
Look
that.
at any league in the world.
Any
These guys
league
have
in the
no
world.
idea.
Now, let me ask you a question based
Sure.
on just to keep these guys' interest peaked, right?
Fair enough.
They joke and laugh about us talking about relegation, but relegation means
you.
Yeah, they had no idea.
worst
They had
three
no idea.
teams. The worst 3 teams go down.
Yes.
Right, they don't get to play in the top divisions.
Right.
So how do you think that would affect if there was you talk single A, double A, triple A
Right.
baseball?
No. I'm familiar. I am
If
familiar
the
with
worst
it.
team, if the worst team in that division was to actually get kicked out of the major leagues,
Yeah.
because there's so many worthless fucking games in
There are.
American sport,
Absolutely.
in all sports, in all 4 major league sports, and I say that as being hockey. There's no relegation or promotion in any of them. What the fuck is going on? When that will never change because why?
Right, because even if you're the owner of the fucking Clippers who suck ass, and you get caught using the N word to your mistress, you could still sell your team for $2 billion.
We're not talking politics,
Right,
We're
but no.
talking
That's
sport.
not, that is the sport of it. Because a worthless fucking franchise
the
like
money.
the Clippers is still worth $2 freaking billion when you sell it.
But that's the reason why. Because
Right,
there's no
because
there's
the
no
Clippers were
promotion
so
and
bad for so
relegation.
long that if they were relegated,
But it's
I
down
agree.
to you. It's down to the fans. No one gives a fuck.
Don't yell at me. Yell at B. He's on his way to the Slippers games right now.
No, it's not. It's down to the fact that we accept the bullshit setup in American sport. That there's so many worthless games and playoffs. You know, it's come on. Tell me that American sport is better than anywhere in the world, and why?
America.
Money.
Donald
Beer.
Trump. Make America great.
There's a lot of money in Europe in soccer, man.
Nachos.
Yeah. Nachos and beer.
Nachos and beer.
Dodger
They
dog.
got
Have you ever had
pies in
Dodger dog?
England, dude.
I think the
We got
MLS
meat pies and
I
sausage.
think the MLS should look
roll.
into the MLS should look into relegation, like you guys said, because they keep expanding. They keep adding
They
teams
do.
all the time.
I
all the
could
time.
see. I could see
How
why
many
they
teams are in the
don't.
MLS right now? You know, Dutch?
I believe 32. I could be wrong.
Get the F out of here.
Yeah,
Are
and
you
I
serious?
think there's more
That's a
coming.
lot-
I believe
that's a
there's
lot.
more coming.
There's
I
more
wanna-
coming.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
Do
But
their
the
team-
Miami's
MLS
not even
does-
here yet.
Yeah, Miami's not
MLS
here.
does a lot of smaller cities. That's why they're popping up so many.
So that's why I'm saying relegation might work for something like the MLS, but I think it's big sports like the MLB, basketball, the National Football League. Those are so far gone. Relegation is way outside of the.
There's
window.
no one to
That's
come in.
just-
You couldn't drop out because there's no one to come in. There's
Exactly.
no structure from there's no pyramid. That's the trouble.
Right.
But with American
There's
soccer,
no minor leagues in football. There are minor leagues
In soccer.
in
The Canadian
basketball,
Football
about-
League.
Yeah.
We could get the Canadian Football League. You know, they play the same type. You know, if we decide.
Why is that? Why is there no minor leagues?
It's called the NCAA. It's the biggest fucking joke there is.
Well, yeah,
So
exactly.
and they make them stay for 3 years. So if you go to, you have to be 21 or play college football for 3 years in order to get drafted in the NFL.
But even then, like the NBA has their D leagues that were spotted here and there.
Right.
Okay.
The G League now.
The G League now, yeah. So how come NFL never had
simple money? It goes straight back to that same answer every time. It's money.
They go to play CFL somewhere, or they had Arena Football League before.
Well, yeah, true.
They didn't,
But
or
no.
they go play in Europe somewhere. They don't.
Yeah,
But
Germany
there's
plays
not a-
football,
there's-
you know?
But I agree. I mean, Major League Soccer has expanded so quickly and so
Yeah.
big, and the crowds are crazy. The size of the crowds in some of these cities. I mean, look at Atlanta.
Like Atlanta, yeah, exactly.
You know, and the new franchises are gonna be close to the same. Maybe not on that scale. When I saw Seattle play in Portland 2 years ago, I think was the first time that it blew me away that there was, I don't know how much Seattle Stadium, 82,000 or something like that.
Yeah, no.
And it's real. It's not bullshit. It's
No, it's
real
not.
fan base.
I've been in the city. I've been in
Yeah.
Vancouver before when Seattle was playing Vancouver, and I couldn't fucking believe it.
That's a good derby matchup they
because
got.
being here in LA, you don't see it if Galaxy are playing.
But you don't see it if the Clippers are playing either. It's not. It's
If you-
not.
if you
it's
go
not the
downtown, you
sport.
would. If you go
it's
downtown.
not the sport in LA. It's the people.
Exactly.
Right, and it doesn't matter where
Agreed.
you go in the world. It could be the same in London to Manchester to Newcastle. I know if you go to a Newcastle United game, they could be in Division 3 and they're getting 50,000 fucking people.
Jesus.
Right? But if you go to fucking Spurs and they're in Division 3, they'd be fucking 15,000 people. You know, so there's fickle fans no matter what, and there's fan bases around the world, whether it's Spain, whether it's France, and in LA, they're fucking pussies. It's simple as that.
But
You-
the LAFC is here to change shit.
Do you think so?
Bullshit.
No,
That is
I don't.
bullshit.
Not at all.
There was doubt in your eye as you were saying that.
No, I felt confident right there. I was like, damn.
The fact that
I
LAFC,
was stupid enough to believe
the fact that LAFC signed Bob Bradley as their fucking coach, and they got Carlos Vela, they're trying to do
They're
a
trying.
fucking
I think they are.
cop out of trying to get fans through the most bullshit way they can.
But I think it goes back to what you guys were saying. The LA, I don't think the LA fan base really cares about.
No, they
about
don't.
LA
They don't
soccer.
give a shit about soccer. man.
They care
No,
about
and they
their.
haven't.
They care
And
about
they
their
haven't
care
hometown.
about sport.
The Beard and I
don't know
are
about
both
that one.
are both savage Dodger fans, right?
Right.
So
There's the biggest fucking joke of a franchise in the world right now.
Relax, Turbo. I will fucking go through that fucking glass right now.
You
Choke
couldn't
the shit
get
out of
through
you.
his fucking
No, it has been up until now.
But being the fact that we were at the World Series last year, at the end of Game 1, we were both there, and I told him I was a little disappointed in the crowd. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I was disappointed in the crowd."
He did
I,
say that.
They were
I
dead.
was
They
expecting
were dead.
everyone to go, "Let's go Dodge" on every fucking pitch, because every pitch matters when you're in a situation
Yes.
like that.
No, they're
and
talking
there
to each
wasn't.
other, wondering if you want
Yep.
another beer and some peanuts.
Yeah.
Well, the ticket.
They
Well,
were-
baseball
they were
is
LA.
drunk
What
as
happens
hell.
is what happens in LA when it comes to soccer, and nobody gives a shit about the LA Galaxy or the LAFC.
No.
What happens is the fan base here is like they like already Chelsea. They like already America. They like already the Chivas.
because
They like their teams already. The LAFC, LA Galaxy.
Yeah,
the
the
shit.
Galaxy-
They don't- nobody
I
cares.
commend
But the
them
Galaxy
for
have won
trying.
a bunch of
LAFC
championships.
is trying. They got Carlos Vela. The Mexican
glad
fan
that
base is excited
LAFC
about
is
Carlos
trying
Vela.
to make
Bob
something
Bradley,
in
great.
Los Angeles, because honestly, Galaxy's taste, and at least soccer fans like myself, I used to go to the Galaxy games as a kid. It died on me. Honestly, it died. It was not.
But listen,
there was no
they-
excitement.
They were playing. They played at the Rose Bowl for a long time. Okay?
No,
They play in that college, university. What
no,
is
they
it?
played. They
They
played
played the Home Depot
the
Center.
StubHub
The
Center.
entire-
No,
entire
no, no.
time.
When they first started,
Home Depot.
They played at the Rose Bowl. I used to go.
when
to
they
the
When they
first,
first
started, they
started.
played at the Rose
We're
Bowl.
talking Kobe Jones.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kobe
Yeah, back
Jones.
then.
I used to have a
Kobe-
poster of him in my room. Man.
So-
Kobe who?
Kobe Jones.
Does he have 2 numbers retired?
The original Kobe.
Get your ass out of here.
And Lala was in that team too. Wasn't he?
Alexi.
Yeah, he was.
Wait,
So
Lala.
when they were playing there,
You said Lala.
I was like, Lala.
I'm like, is that you mean
Who's that?
Carmelo's wife?
Yeah, so I was like, wow.
Yeah.
so when they played there,
Progressive.
I mean, imagine going to the Rose Bowl to watch a soccer game.
Oh, I went.
That's-
I went all the time.
And Dutchie, that sucked ass, right?
It was how fucking stupid can any owner of any club get to put a team in 100,000 seater stadium when
Horrible.
only 12,000 people are going to come.
Exactly.
Put them
What a
in
bad
Citrus
idea.
College that holds fucking 15,000. I'm serious.
And
Yeah.
that's
I'm
No, yeah.
serious.
And he's right.
Create a
Practical that
fucking
way.
atmosphere.
Exactly.
Create
Yeah.
something where you want to
Exactly.
go
Yeah.
back and you don't
Put
fall
it in a
asleep.
small college, environment where people can get hyped,
Yeah.
where they're all, concentrated.
And that's where they fail.
Where you can have an environment, like an
they try to
atmosphere.
stuff
Yeah.
an arena. Everybody wants to make all the
Nobody
money.
wanted-
Everybody
no-
wants to be the
then-
Lakers.
So then we still got NYFC playing at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
How far is it from the edge of the 18 to the edge of the field? 12 yards.
Yeah.
I won't even let you think and try and answer it. 12 yards. It's a Mickey Mouse mini fucking field.
10
Yeah.
yards.
No, it's not, because
Oh.
if you look where the fucking little quadrant is from
I
the
was
corner
thinking
flag,
about it.
right?
Sorry.
No, because it depends on the width of the field, right?
Can you look at quadrant, please, for me?
You don't know what a quadrant is.
I don't even know
I think
how to
it's
spell
something to
it.
do from Star Trek.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I hate to be in professional.
How
but can I
the
take a piss?
fuck? How the fuck can any major league sport allow just because it's in a stadium and because they're getting good support? We're playing on a field that's not big enough for high school players to play on because they can't fit it in Yankee Stadium.
So the soccer field is in Yankee Stadium. Yeah, that would be a little. Yankee Stadium's it's pretty impressive though. I've been there.
All right, okay. We don't
Yeah,
care about
yeah,
the actual
yeah,
sport. As long as it looks good, we're good.
No, yeah, exactly. So
I'm an American sports fan.
It's built straight
What's
up.
the hot
though.
dogs like? Oh, they're good. Oh.
No, they did have good food there.
Any
They
meat
did.
pies or sausage rolls? No.
I broke my phone
You
there.
brought up the World Series.
I broke
you're-
my phone in the bathroom there.
You brought up the World Series, and what happens is in LA, also with like the baseball fans,
Even basketball.
the World Series and basketball. When it comes to the finals, when it comes to the World Series, these tickets get so expensive.
It's stupid.
It's really ridiculous, and the hardcore fan doesn't get to show up.
They sell it.
They
don't
sell
know.
it. They sell
They
it.
sell it.
They end up at the bar.
but it's
They
not
make a
the
barbecue
true,
at home.
It's not the true fan that goes.
No, it's the executive.
It is.
Wait,
It's the executive that shows
Did
up.
you tell any of your family members you were coming to the show tonight?
No, I'm not even going to
talk-
share
I'm
this.
about to talk some shit.
That's fine.
His sister-in-law.
Here we go.
Who is not
Here we go.
who is not a Dodger fan in any way,
In any way, shape, or form.
Dodger
I
hater.
I believe she was a Giants fan originally,
Angels fan.
And
As
she
far
and
as
then
I-
an Angels fan.
And she was at the playoffs. the
she
entire
And then
had
at the
to
World
be.
Series, she was a Dodger fan.
Game 1 and Game 7, she was there
What?
because she had
The
to be.
fuck?
She had to be seen.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what. Well, no, you're saying it.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's the the executive shows up. The This Is Hot shows up. The Instagram fucking model
I
shows
gotta-
up.
everybody's
Everyone
gonna
needs to know
showed
that I
up,
was here
my
because
status.
I'm important.
And that's a problem.
And that's the problem with LA. Like you guys said, Seattle and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
They probably the sport out there is probably awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The soccer, like you said, soccer's awesome out there. The fan base is real.
Yeah.
But over here, ticket prices get so high, the fans don't show up.
No, and
they're
the-
going to go to the bar. They're going to go do a barbecue at their house.
Yeah.
They're going to be with their real fans.
But
at
I think
home.
the other big problem is that what you said earlier is that the fans here in California. Let's just
throw it out there.
California,
Let's just throw everybody in the same boat.
They're gonna be they're stuck with their Mexican soccer teams. It's the Chivas and the Americas
Yeah, I
and
think
the
so.
Cruz Azul and all those other teams.
I think so.
They're not gonna watch an American soccer
they-
team that was put together
Right.
cheaply.
Right.
Okay, and no, they never wanted.
And then a real soccer fan like this guy is going to gravitate to something like the English Premier League.
Well,
exactly.
You nailed it earlier on, and that's the biggest thing that Chivas, when Chivas USA came, and MLS, their biggest mistake was simply this: if you put a Mexican-based club, you have to realize that 95% of Mexicans fucking hate that individual club. Right? If you put Chivas USA, no one supports Chivas USA unless you're just a Chivas USA or a Chivas Guadalajara fan. You put Chivas USA in there, and I'm a Mexican fan of fucking any other fucking Mexican team. The last team I'm ever going to go and watch is them.
Right.
You know?
And that was a failure.
It was
I'm
huge
surprised-
failure, but then they've done the exact same thing in New York with NYFC,
NYFC.
by taking Manchester City, right? And everything
All the
about
way.
Manchester City,
Everything.
and all it is an American version of MCFC.
Yep.
And how's it doing?
It's doing okay, but
For now.
For now,
Yeah.
But they're lucky because there's no one in New York that hates Manchester City.
But New,
I mean, if
New
they-
York is more centralized too. In the LA region, I'm not going to drive from Rancho Cucamonga to go to fucking the Home Depot Center to go
Why?
to go see a Chivas USA team.
Right.
If I'm a hater a little bit, but if you can hop on a subway and get there in 15 minutes. It's
might
not,
go.
it's
Still
not-
wouldn't do it.
But it's not as
No,
difficult.
not gonna do it.
If you got a set of tickets, you might show up and you might.
No, you're a soccer fan. You hate that team. You're never going. I don't care if you give me free
Right, but-
tickets and
Right,
give me
if you're in
$20.
New York-
But if you
But
live
if
out,
you're in New York-
if you live out,
if
you know,
you're in New
40
York
minutes
and you
away,
got
and it's all
NYFC.
public, and you
Yeah,
can,
I mean,
and you
they
are a
travel,
fan of that
yeah.
team.
Yes.
You can
In
get-
New
you
York,
can get
in
there
New York,
quicker.
the NYFC might survive. Again, two reasons. Nobody really gives a shit about Manchester. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't think. And
Well,
for-
they
over
don't.
here-
You don't have all this. You don't have the 50,000 fans going
Yeah.
who actually support a different team that's against Manchester City.
Right.
So there's you don't have that rivalry. You haven't put up that curtain.
They
You
still
have
have
a
the
soccer team.
They still have the
in
Red
a-
Bulls out
in
there.
a- huh?
Red Bulls,
Yeah,
Red
New
Bulls,
York
and,
Red
and-
Bulls,
and
yeah.
they play at the Giant Stadium, right?
Yeah,
Jets
yeah.
Giant Stadium. Okay, that's another huge stadium too.
No, they have their own place now. They have the Red Bull Arena.
Oh, they're not playing at the.
I don't believe so. I
oh,
could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Son of a business.
Another thing about the MLS this is why I think Toronto and Seattle are very successful, is that they have a true rivalry. You know what I mean?
Who does?
Toronto and Seattle.
Oh, okay.
They have like a little rivalry going on,
Mm-hmm.
and that really brews passion in the fans. Like you, sir, from England, right? You go to see a Newcastle and Sunderland game. You know they fucking hate each other. There's an atmosphere there.
Yeah.
They're trying to replicate that with Toronto and Seattle. You don't see that in the MLS very much. You know, if fucking Galaxy's playing, I don't know, fucking
Well,
Dallas.
let's find out what happens when the Galaxy play LAFC. Is it going to be a
That's-
true rivalry?
That's
No.
what I don't think. I don't think so.
You
Like you
can't-
said, they don't have that much passion for these things.
No, they don't know.
It's
They
the LA.
don't.
It's an LA
I
thing.
don't think they will.
Wait, no,
I
but I
don't
mean-
think they will. And another thing that I think LAFC is going wrong is I think they're trying too hard. Okay, Bob Bradley. Okay, he did okay with the U.S. national team. He did shit at Sunderland for sure. No, I'm sorry, Swansea for sure.
Bob Bradley, if you want
But,
to defend yourself,
I think they
the
signed him.
Yeah, 909.
They
909,
signed him just
360,
because they
8330.
can now brag that he's the first American coach in the Premier League, which is bullshit. They also signed Carlos Vela, who doesn't, frankly, he's been quoted saying he doesn't give a fuck about soccer. He's doing it for the paycheck. They're signing it. They're, they're signing him for the Mexican fan base.
That's the
I
problem.
don't. I think he is good. He's very good.
He's good.
He's
that's
a
the problem.
professional. He's a
That's-
professional.
that's the problem
But he's
we're in.
not going to play for the badge. He doesn't give a fuck. And I think they're going wrong. And frankly, I don't see that going well. But I do admire the fact that they're trying to create a rivalry within our city in Los Angeles. But I don't see it happening. I really don't.
No, the rivalry I could say is probably going to be in this way, sort of like the Lakers Clippers rivalry. I'm guessing is that the Lakers Clippers rivalry is a big rivalry for the Clippers, not so much for the Lakers, right? So I can see LAFC really wanting to kick Galaxy's ass. I mean, even if they do, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, you got us, whatever. You know, it's like they're still not going to be. It's still little brother syndrome, you know. And it's sort of like until you start winning, until the Clippers win championships. Like multiple, I don't give a shit about the first one.
Yeah,
the
not at
second
all.
when you win second championship, then as a Laker fan, I'll be like, oh man, I gotta get worried. I'm worried now.
You're talking
You know
a
what I
lot
mean?
of shit now that B's gone.
No, I've talked that same shit when he's here.
have
Yeah,
you?
I wish he
absolutely.
was here.
Yeah.
Because I would love to join in on
Oh
that.
yeah, he would have unleashed on Jeremy right now for talking shit about the
We've had this conversation on the air at
I
least
don't-
once before.
Well, I
So.
don't know what kind of legs he has to stand on.
Yeah.
I hope he's listening.
He does.
Yeah.
He'll defend.
You think he's got the Kaotic Radio app on his phone open while he's driving?
Of
Fuck
course,
no.
of course.
What?
It's B.
Touchy.
It's B.
You know, he
Nah,
actually.
of course he does.
He
yeah.
was.
You know, guaranteed he does.
You know what? The show that.
Phone's ringing.
Phone's ringing. Oh, shit.
I'm just fucking with.
Oh, wait. Wow. 909-360-8330 if I didn't mention it 7 other times before. And once again, we're looking for sponsors.
The problem is
Sponsors.
that the States have been a huge baseball and football
For a long time.
forever. Yeah.
For a long
And-
time.
and
It's institutional.
For soccer to try to come in and try to do something, it's going to be supremely hard. It's now how many years have they started this whole
MLS
Well, here's the thing:
experiment.
it's
But
not
that's the
trying to
point.
come in. It's already in. It's done.
Yeah, that's what
it's,
I was gonna-
here
I was gonna
now.
fight you on that one, too.
It's
It's
here,
here.
and it's
LA
been
is
here
the
for
issue.
20 years.
They went.
That-
They
We
went.
get bigger.
20
We
years,
get bigger crowds at soccer games. When you look around the country now, the average crowd soccer is better than hockey. It's better than basketball. I know we're in bigger stadiums, and I know you can argue that. Where the average crowd at a Serie A game in Italy in their Premier Division is 23,000. The average crowd in the MLS is 25,000.
I read an article stating that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
We have an intellectual.
I read an
here.
article.
I'll have you know, I watched Rick and Morty. Okay, I'll have you know.
Was it in Spanish or English?
It was both.
It was a niggerencia.
I used Google Translate. Anyways,
Come on.
Anyways, I read an article saying that the American viewership has surpassed MLB of soccer.
What?
But that. More
No,
people in the United States.
I'm calling timeout on that
no,
bullshit.
No, really. I swear.
There's no way.
I swear.
Hold on.
Hear me out.
Are you talking about per game or are you talking about total overall?
Per game.
Per game.
Because there's 161 worthless fucking games in
Whoa,
baseball.
162.
That doesn't.
Motherfucker.
One of them's good and 161 are worthless.
More Americans watch soccer than they watch baseball on average, but that's not to say they watch the MLS. They're watching the Premier League. They're watching La Liga. They're watching everything.
Okay.
But it's interesting because if only we could get those interests into our league, MLS, into our athletes.
But we've already established why that won't happen. It's because the best players in the world aren't playing here. And I can guarantee you, Americans might show up in force in Seattle and in Portland and Vancouver. Well, I said Americans in Vancouver. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I get it.
Some of those places that don't have multiple teams, don't have multiple options, they might go there, but they're not showing up, and they're not going to do it here. They're not going to do it in Dallas. They're not going to do it in New York. They're not going to do it in Miami, in Chicago. You might get crowds for certain games for certain times of the year, but if I know I'm seeing just a G League basketball game, you could put the G League at the Staples Center. You know how many people are going to show up?
Yeah.
1,500.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Same as for a Clipper game.
There you go.
Whoa, hey now.
Should we get a break?
That's for you, V. Yeah, that's
I
what
know
you
you
call
need
it.
a break. I can tell you're getting fucking sweaty.
I always get sweaty in this. Can you afford it? I thought my check would at least put for the air conditioning bill, but apparently not.
Air conditioning's on in this room.
Yeah, fucking pricks. So,
He wakes up and he's sweaty.
Yeah. So we will be taking a little break here, and we'll catch you back in a couple minutes. And I'm sure Dutch is going to play us out with a nice, lovely punk love song.
Where on earth are you from? We from England. Where you come from? Do you put the kettle on? Kick it.
Bonjour. Messieurs.
Can I introduce you please to a lump of cheddar cheese? Knit one, power one, drop one, cow one. Kick it. Me and me mama, me dad and me gran, we're off to Waterloo. Me and me mama, me dad and me gran and a bucket of Vindaloo.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
The name of the game. The name of the game. The name of the game. The name of the game.
We are the champions. We are the champions.
There's the English version.
We are the champions. We are the champions.
I'm going to tell you guys an interesting story.
What's that? Wait, can I reintroduce us back to the listeners that may have taken a break while
they already know where we're at.
No, hold on. We are Chaotic Sports. This is Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. This is our one and only soccer show ever.
Sunday?
Sunday. This is
World
Sunday.
Cup starts in 88 days, boys. 88 fucking days.
Yes.
Looking forward to it, man.
World Series. The baseball starts
It
starts in 11 days, boys. and
Why is
girls.
it called World Series when it's on the American team?
I've often wondered that.
Only one Canadian team asked why we kicked the other one out a long
Did
time
you?
ago. Yes.
Why? Oh, they won it. That's right.
No, they didn't win shit. Montreal didn't win shit. So yeah, we are Chaotic Sports. We are here every Sunday evening.
Who took their place?
I am
the Washington Nationals.
Thank you, sir.
We put them right in the heart of the capital.
I am Jeremy. The Jew, Jeremy.
Nobody cares.
Okay, hey, welcome back, Chaotic Sports. What's going on? What? Somebody's trying to tell you. Can tell me. Talk to me.
Bye.
You going bye-bye?
I gotta go.
You go bye-bye?
I gotta go work.
Oh, okay.
See you later,
See you
Dutchie.
in 25 minutes,
Good
Dutch.
having
That was a
you.
great.
Thanks for
that was
having us.
great
Pleasure.
All right, now we talk baseball.
Can't wait to the World Cup.
Well, World Series. Yes.
World Series.
Yes.
World Cup's coming.
Bye. Dutchie's gone. Now we can talk shit about Dutchie the whole damn time.
So I was going to say.
Go ahead.
The first time
Chaotic Sports.
that I
G.
felt like I was.
Excuse me.
That I was like.
Exhaust.
Very into soccer.
Oh, the chicks of the South American teams on the World Cup?
Colombians, man.
Dude, Venezuelans, Colombians,
That is fantastic.
Argentinians.
That is fantastic.
Uruguayans. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
It really doesn't. Even Nick.
Soccer's good for the world.
Fuck you too, sir.
Pitsies, I'm sure there's some good-looking Nicaraguans somewhere.
Did you just call them Nicaraguans?
Nicaraguans. That's what he said before.
I've been meaning to ask you, is that you?
Yes, that is me. Who's that? That's Jeff Sargent. He is previously of the KLOS. He used to work at KLOS, on-air talent at KLOS, and now he has a show here. How the mighty
have fallen.
No, this place is going up.
I think so.
This place is on its way to the top.
Don't tell Dutchie. We're going to open up our own studio.
I think so.
Are you in?
Let's do it.
You guys in?
I'm in.
You gotta have some money.
I'll pitch it. I'll pitch in $20.
Have some money.
You gotta have a little bit of money to back it up.
Well, that's the only reason why I said I'm in.
Right, I got you.
I bring
little bit of money.
I bring the people.
Which people? These are my two guys. Who have you ever brought? Oh, that's right. That one girl that called from one time who said Raiders.
She didn't say Raiders, bro. It's
Yes, it was Gina.
little guys from the little saints from Norwalk.
Yeah. He had his friends calling one time talking about their little flag football league for the 12-year-olds.
Is it sports?
No.
It is.
Technically, he's right. He's right.
But I would know nothing about that.
Tell him, ask him who he's brought in.
Who have you brought in?
Before you guys.
Before us.
Before you.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the first 4 callers.
The Bronx Bomber, which is his father.
Yes.
That's it.
Our plumber from San Antonio was mine as well.
And he fell off.
Why don't you give him a shout out, man?
What, the Bronx Bomber or the plumber from San
The plumber.
The plumber knows who he is. He's listening right now.
Oh, give him customers.
Hey,
Don't
what's
be a
up, plumber?
He's not really a plumber.
Okay.
So what the fuck is he? You just made him up?
He lays pipe.
Just
You just made him.
He's a pipe layer, right? And that's why he's got 3 boys.
And he
right?
didn't- and
There you go.
He's got his wife pregnant. He's got on the 3rd boy, and I just go, God
And
damn
he,
you.
and he didn't send a sandwich. Is that the sandwich guy that didn't send the
that's not
sandwiches?
the
So
sandwich
can
Somebody
we,
else?
now that Dutchie's gone, can we talk spring training? I mean,
Fuck yeah, bro. Can we talk NCAA,
No, I'm just
NCAA
kidding.
basketball?
I'm just
A
kidding.
16 beat a 1 for the first
Well,
time
that's
ever?
that's a good thing.
I think so. I think it's a fantastic thing.
I think it's a
I
great thing.
signed up for a soccer
But, you know,
show, so I intend to get one.
We got plenty of soccer into this.
Yes.
Hey,
Hold
We're
on.
way too
Fuck
deep.
soccer.
hey, little Nicky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, Pitsy.
Hey, guy.
hey guy.
Hey, gay guy.
Get out of the
Hey,
studio.
my guy.
Yeah, my ride's next to me, so I'm not going nowhere.
Wait, I know you only got $20, and you said you could put $20 towards our new
You're very
studio.
convincing. I'll give you $22.50.
However, you have an Uber app.
I do.
There you go. I got you set up. Your ride's right there.
All right.
Hey, you ready to go? Damn, they kicked you out.
Hey, I got 3/4 of a Modelo left, man. I'm not going nowhere.
I wanted to hear why the Cap said the Lakers aren't getting better. Like, what do you see? Because I've seen progress. I think. I mean, I could.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
They made a bad move by getting rid of Nance. Okay, that could have been their.
He's not doing great in Cleveland starting, by the way.
Well, but he's playing with LeBron though. You understand that when
I mean, if we would have got LeBron next year, I mean, we were saying, oh, Nance and LeBron when they would be on the Lakers, that would be something nice. He's on the Cavs, with LeBron,
yeah,
and he's not playing great. So I mean, okay, go ahead with Nance. Okay, he's gone.
He's gone. We had this argument a couple of shows back where he said Julius Randle's I feel that they still need a power forward, a real power forward. And he said, well, what do you think Randle is? I'm like, okay, but he's how long has he been in the league?
Right.
This is his 4th year.
Okay, and he's still not a fucking prime name.
He's becoming one.
He's becoming one.
Wait,
now.
hold on. You don't pay attention to sports.
I mean,
because he is behind. Okay, I'm going to give you the list.
Okay.
It's LeBron James, it's Paul George, it's DeMarcus Cousins, who's hurt, and Julius Randle, your top 4 free agents. And Julius Randle will get offered a max contract as soon as July 1st opens up. Guaranteed.
I believe so.
Guaranteed.
What does it have to do
Julius
with
Randle's
being a
23 years
top
old.
Power forward.
You just said he's not a
You
name.
just said you said
Captain.
No.
You said he's not a good name. He's not a big name.
You put him into a category that only a certain amount are going to fall into as a free agent.
I don't give a shit what position he plays. You said he's not a good power forward. He could be a small forward.
Listen, I didn't say he's not a good power forward. I didn't say that.
I could have sworn.
know.
I could have sworn.
I don't know.
Hold on. I could have sworn those words came out of his mouth.
I said he's not. I never said.
You know,
he's
honestly,
not,
I can't remember.
I never said that. I said I still feel like they need a premier power forward. That's what I said. I never said Randle is not good. I just said he's not falling into a premier power forward right now that the Lakers need.
He's a premier player in the league.
Because he's a free agent next year and he's
he's a premier player in the league. He's a 2010 guy as a starter.
Okay.
That's a premier player in the league. That's Blake Griffin. So
And
because
what
he doesn't
happened to
dunk
Blake Griffin?
because he doesn't dunk over Kias doesn't mean he's not
No.
Right.
Him dunking over anybody doesn't mean shit. Okay.
I agree. But
Okay,
I'm saying
so-
that's the same kind of production you're getting out of the similar players. And if I asked you if Blake Griffin was a premier player in the league, you would say yes.
I don't know if I would say yes.
Because he got traded to Detroit?
No, I've told you that. I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't say. I haven't. I'm just listening.
Wait,
No, listen.
Man, this
I'm
microphone's
listening
got
right
silent.
No, because I
gotta unmute you guys.
No,
Hold on.
no. I'm just saying because I don't know. I don't know where your stance is coming from. I really don't know because it seems like he knows that you like Blake Griffin. I guess.
No, I don't. I don't like Blake Griffin.
I don't.
But that's who 20 and 10 guys. When I think of a 20 and 10 guy,
Well,
I think of Blake.
I'm just,
I think of Blake
just
Griffin.
thinking recently, Julius Randle's been playing the
He's been
best
playing really good. Yeah.
ball as a power forward in the league since the beginning of the year.
Okay, so let's put him. Let's say they get to
who's like I guess who's a better power forward? At
Yeah,
this point?
I mean, tell me, Anthony Davis,
who's a center?
who's a center.
Kevin Durant technically is a
power
small
forward.
forward.
What is he, a 6'10"? What is he, 6'10" or
Kevin
7
Durant
feet?
is a small forward technically because Draymond plays the power, right?
Yes.
Right.
So
Well-
and Draymond
does.
works for that team.
He is the power
Yeah.
forward.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Draymond would get a ton. It got paid with the Golden State because of how he fits with that team.
Right.
I don't think Draymond's the same player on a different team.
No.
I think you take Draymond out and he's just a bully who if he doesn't get his way and people aren't knocking down shots, he's gonna be pissed off that he's not winning as much as
It would remind you of Celtics. I can't even think. The center.
Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
Where else would he play for a championship team? In that year, I mean,
He couldn't pull it off.
But I don't know
anywhere
if anyone ever thought that Cedric Perkins was Kendrick
Okay,
was a great player.
else. The
You know
rest
what
of the team was fantastic. That's why he looked good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then he ended up in.
And honestly, I think one of the most underrated things, honestly, from that Celtics team too, is Rajon Rondo. I know he's a piece of shit and hard to get along with, but every time he plays with players, he makes them better.
He's a good passer.
He makes everybody he plays with better, even when he's on shit teams.
Great assist,
and
man.
he's doing that now in New Orleans.
Great assist and great rebounding.
Yeah.
Did you read what he said?
Wants to play with Kobe again?
that he carried.
Oh, he carried the Celtics team.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he
That's
said he carried that
fantastic.
Celtics team. He said he carried that Celtics team.
Listen,
Wait, the championship teams.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Rajon
the
Rondo.
one yeah. But if you think about it, if they don't have him,
They
and
might not have really together.
I don't
think they
would
win.
have won.
No.
Well,
I don't
because
think they win.
because of the assists.
Yeah,
he's an
he's
assist
producing
guy.
for them. Yeah.
Assist guys don't get.
You want to see him blow up? That's the same way I feel about
Shut-
Lonzo.
shut-
I don't think Lonzo gets the respect. That's why I'll say Lonzo's a great player. It's because I don't care
You
how
know
many
what?
points. I don't care how many points.
You
he
know
makes.
what, Jeremy?
I want to see him facilitate for the rest of his team.
I
Somebody
was-
on the team has to do it, and you need to have.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Alonzo is
No. These kinds of players, assist guys, rebound guys,
Yeah.
defensive guys. That's what Lonzo's playing right now. He's not on
Crazy
the,
defense,
He's
yeah.
not on the 08 Celtics. No.
Nope.
He's not on the 09 Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
But the way Lonzo's playing is the way Rajon was playing on those championship teams. Defensive ball, assists, and rebounds. Get your points when you can. Nobody got mad at Rajon Rondo when he had 9 points.
Nope. Because he had 10,
'Cause he had
8 rebounds, and 10, 12 assists.
and 12 assists. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but nobody was hyping up.
But that's not
and
Lonzo's
that's
fault.
not, and that's not Lonzo's fault.
That's
It's
not Lonzo's
really
fault.
Whose fault is it?
It's
Is
your
LeVar?
fault. It's your fault for listening.
No, I don't listen.
Yep.
I'm not worried about his. I'm not worried about the hype.
He's wearing triple B's right now.
It was.
He's wearing Zo2s right now.
No, I don't even care about.
I
it.
wasn't
I don't care
listening
about any of that shit.
Listen, I wasn't listening, but I'm watching the way he plays.
Sure.
And I still don't think that he's going to be able to be something.
In the beginning of the year, I have to agree with you 100%. Before the injury,
he did look lost.
Before the injury, he was lost. But with that time off, if you watch him now, they're playing great.
I think it was
great
even.
ball.
I think it was even before the injury too. I think the first 15 games it was a feel out. And
But that was a lot. You got to blame on LeVar, and that's not the point.
Right. Once
That's
LeVar
not the
said
point.
the team needs a new coach, they've been playing outstanding basketball.
Yeah, LeVar does it.
Better than 500 basketball.
You don't have to worry about
I think we lost Pitsy, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Pitsy
he's
can't
gone.
open his eyes.
He's over.
Man,
it.
if you could see the video right now, Pitsy, I want you to tell all your friends on MySpace to
everybody in the top 9.
watch this show and just listen to the first hour and 20 minutes.
He's on
because
AOL.
after the second
world know
break,
you're still here.
Hey,
He's
Pitsy,
on
come
AOL Messenger.
I too think Paul Pierce is a great player.
What? Paul Pierce? Fuck Paul Pierce. That's a mute right there. Yeah. So yeah, it's fantastic. But no, I think that the Los Angeles Lonzos are doing.
Christ.
What?
No, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
that's
come
a little
on.
ridiculous.
I buy the hype.
Come on.
I don't. I think.
Look.
I think it was Magic's fault too. Magic and Rob Pelinka
too.
too.
It's
for
Magic's
saying
fault too.
replace my jerseys, break my records. But again, if you're a 19-year-old coming into a team and you stay there for 15 years, you're going to have more. You're going to have
look.
more assists.
Yeah.
Than Magic Johnson.
And I think the problem with Magic is he was trying to mediate the LeVar situation by LeVar. LeVar was going over the top, so Magic's like, you know what, hey kid, you're gonna break all my records.
I think he was helping,
and so he was trying to help out the fan base.
Magic,
like-
Magic appreciates the salesmanship
Yes.
of LeVar.
The problem is
just wants him on his side.
The problem is that he comes in and he says this about the Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
When he had Kobe for the last how many years? How many years did Kobe play?
Magic never had Kobe though.
No. But the Lakers had Kobe.
Okay.
And you're coming out and saying that Lonzo Ball is going to be one of the greater players and possibly retire his jersey for the Lakers. You're now putting this guy in a position of being just as great as Kobe. And
Gil Goodrich has never retired too. Jamal Wilkes has. You know what?
You're talking about players from way back in the days that
right, but
don't play.
No, you equate.
Well, when you're gonna say
you equated his retiring jersey to being as good as Kobe Bryant, and it doesn't have to be as good as Kobe Bryant. If your retired jersey is a retired jersey,
no. I think, but don't you wish this for any
I do. And we said the same thing for Dwight fucking Howard.
I hope
I'm so glad. I hated Dwight Howard when he was here. I'm so glad he didn't sign with
I hope
the
the same for
Lakers.
Brandon Ingram. I hope he gets his number on the wall. I hope Julius
I hope he
Randle
gains
gets
20
his
pounds.
number on the wall. Yeah, that too. You know, I hope all these guys get their number on the wall.
I think Brandon
if
Ingram should
you're
meet us,
Magic
meet us
too,
for the hat afterwards.
And if you hear LeVar hyping up Lonzo so much, Magic, you have to hype him up as much too. If you want the kid to try and do good for you,
Magic
you
got
have
sold.
to believe in him as much as his fucking
Magic got sold.
dad believes it too.
Magic got sold by LeVar.
But that's fine.
And honestly, when
But he was
when they were
also watching the talent.
when they were talking about the draft,
He's
who
got
they were
the-
going to
he's
take.
got it.
Part
I
of me,
think he
part of
does.
me didn't want them to take Lonzo. I didn't.
Part of me too.
I did not want LeVar. I didn't want the headache that came
Right,
with it.
right.
And there has been some headache. But honestly, the fact that we haven't heard from him in 3 months.
Well, they're in Lithuania. That's
I'm sorry,
good.
Where are they from?
Lithuania.
Thank you very much. Is that next to Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Yes, excellent.
You know why he took his kids over there?
A booty? Because they promised him.
You know
they
who-
promised him to be the GM and
Lamborghinis.
No, you know who LaMelo was going to be going up against if he went to school here or wherever he went.
Lil Shaq.
Not even Sharif, Zion Williams.
Oh, you're right. Zion would have slammed on him, huh?
So he was going
Zion's
to
crazy.
He was going to put the Ball family to shame.
Yeah, Zion's
and,
bad.
And then
Yeah, he's
you
good.
know that's
He's
why
good.
Ball fucking made
You're right.
that move and said,
You're right.
You know what? My kids are going to go play with.
You'd have to
weaker
play
players.
You'd have to play Sharif, and you'd have to play Zion.
Zion, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't wanna
If
do
not,
that.
you ain't shit.
Right, but the youngest one still has another year.
No, that's what I'm saying. That
I think they would have missed it, though.
You seen Zion?
Because who's the second one? There's LaMelo's the second one, the one that got booted for the
I
sunglasses.
think Zion is a junior too, right?
Zion, no,
No,
Is
Zion's
he
a
senior?
senior.
Is he going into
Yeah,
college
Zion
now?
and Sharif are both seniors this year. So
okay.
so
He's going to Duke.
They're both
Oh wow, yeah, he's going to Duke.
right,
Yeah.
but they're both one and dones this. They're both one and dones this year at college. So LiAngelo would have never played him because he was one and done supposedly as well.
Either way,
Right.
He was still going to go
Right.
up against
Either
this
way.
kid. Yeah,
No,
there
but-
was nobody in their
look,
class.
you go to Lithuania, you're gonna play ball professionally.
Yeah.
Your life's gonna be ball.
Do you know it's under 20 league? I think it's under 20.
Your life's gonna be ball. You're gonna be making
crazy.
money. They don't give a shit about anything. They're not living under our rules anymore.
No.
You know it's
They're international citizens.
It's shit for money too, by the way.
Yeah, and
But he doesn't care because Lonzo's
but
getting
nothing-
paid.
Nothing's gonna happen for them because his plan is they're gonna play over there. They're gonna get better, and they're gonna become these elite players that are
They're
gonna be able to
not.
come to the NBA.
I don't think so.
They're not.
I don't think
They're
so.
not. LaMelo.
Look
is,
at Derek Williams.
They're G League bound.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna end up.
You're gonna end up in a G League team.
Oh yeah, and if not, they're gonna play in Lithuania forever.
There it is.
And they'll be
they-
superstars over there.
Yeah.
and they get to live however they want in Lithuania.
Which is gonna be fine, but they're not. They're not even the greatest players over there, though.
There's
they won the champs.
players.
No, they are the best.
They won
are
the
the best. They are
championships.
the best two teams on the team. The
Until
best two players on the team.
Until the next
Right,
great
but-
player from the European
There's-
leagues.
I'm telling you, that's saying you're paying. They're the
Let's
best
send-
teams.
No, they're not. There's
Let's
not
send,
gonna be
let's
anybody
send
that comes
Manu Ginobili back over there. Let's see what happens to those motherfuckers.
Manu.
That he is unstoppable. Him and Tony Parker, those guys are old and
That's
they're
what
still
I'm
playing.
saying. And they came out of those leagues over there.
What's up, John?
what's
What do you
wrong?
think about
Hey,
Manu Ginobili?
Nicky,
What do you
I heard-
think about-
little Nicky.
Please tell the
Pitsy.
people how you feel
Hey,
about Manu.
Pitsy.
I think Pau Gasol's a great player.
Pal is and Pal too.
Okay. Is Pau Gasol going to get his number retired by the Lakers?
No,
He should.
he's not gonna get any. And he's a great player, and he won a championship
See,
for the
if he
fucking
didn't
Lakers.
come into
most
the- look,
Laker fans
look.
think he is.
I'll retire his number personally.
Look, and
That's kinda gay,
which
bro.
what he means is
Yeah,
questionable.
That was kind of right. That was kind of gay.
Questionable.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What he means is what,
I stand by what I said.
well, look,
Uh,
if as a Laker fan, you're right. I think I do want him to have his number retired because if Pau Gasol,
Uh-huh.
if we did not get Pau,
You don't win that championship.
you don't win him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
You don't
that
win shit.
Kobe would have never had that other championship.
No,
without
the other
Gasol.
two.
Yeah.
You would never had him.
Nobody ever listens to that point that I make. That if Kobe didn't have Gasol,
You don't think so? Who did you think
he
they
was
could've-
not going to win it by himself.
Oh, there's no chance.
No,
No chance. He
Gasol,
And not with the
the
Lakers.
thing about it was the
he
perfect.
wasn't going to do it with the Lakers.
It was the perfect personality to play with Kobe too, because
Oh,
because
yeah.
he equivalent. Okay, he's not Kobe's level, but he was
good.
that second level of star
He was
that
a
you
top
really
tier
you
player.
really needed. You really needed without.
He's still great.
Without no. Without,
still doing good.
No, he's not.
He's still doing
can't-
fine.
Honestly, when anybody's healthy in San
For
Antonio,
his-
he can't,
for
he
his
can't-
age?
he can't even break the line.
For his age?
Sometimes he has DNPs. He literally
I
has.
believe that. That's fine. I'm just saying for his age, man.
What's a DNP?
Did not play.
Do not play. Coach's decision.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes, you got it, buddy. I'm here for you.
It's like relegation season.
It is
for him.
it's relegation for the old guy on the
I
team.
still can't even spell relegation.
Yeah, delegation.
Okay, can I ask you, Wizards, something?
Yeah.
You smart Alex.
Hello.
Didn't Pau Gasol's fiance get boned by some cat on the Lakers?
Shannon Brown.
We don't talk like that.
That is racist.
I mean, didn't that happen?
I believe you had
Shannon Brown. I think he
Didn't
did that.
that happen?
Did he?
I think Shannon Brown.
That's why. That's why the
and that's why the Lakers fell apart.
They called him. What they call him? The White Swan, because something like they gave him a nickname because he was pouting during one of the playoff runs and they ended up losing, and that's when Phil Jackson called him out and said, "Put your big boy pants on."
Because his wife got boned by...
Yes, because his fiance got boned by Shannon Brown.
Yeah.
But Shannon Brown,
Wait, so that really happened?
but Shannon Brown
I think
is married
so.
to an R&B star and has and
I have no idea.
they
I
are
stopped following
they are-
Shannon Brown after that.
No, I just saw it recently going through on a lazy Sunday. He's on a reality show.
I don't know.
His
Shannon
wife
Brown?
Is it
his
like
wife
Love and
is
Hip Hop or something?
his wife is more famous than he is.
Is that a BlackBerry?
Whoa, it is a BlackBerry, dog. You like that shit? Being old school.
Wait, that
Is it
really,
really?
It already comes
No,
loaded
it's
with
not.
MySpace. It is.
So
No,
that
it's
really
not.
that really happened.
It did happen.
That
Yeah,
really
I
happened.
think so.
But that happens all the time, I believe.
I didn't
Teammates-
Delonte West.
Teammates bang their teammates'
Yes.
wives.
Let's talk about Delonte
Delonte
West.
West banged.
I don't know who Delonte West is.
West banged LeBron's mom.
And then told him about it.
I'm sorry,
and was
LeBron's mom?
Impressive.
yeah,
Yes.
he was like, "Hey, I banged your mom," and went all over the internet and was like, "I
Wow.
banged LeBron." And it was like, "Me and LeBron's mom."
Kind
Really?
of
good.
kind of a dick move, I'd say. Kind of
Yeah,
a dick
well,
move.
I think when you're Delonte West and you're on drugs.
I don't know who Delonte
I
West
think he was.
is.
I think didn't he get last caught up? He's on the news for like being a.
Yeah, he was the freckle face assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
don't
not an
think
he was
he's
not
in
an attra-
jail,
He was
if I'm
not an
not
attractive
mistaken.
fella.
You don't bring your hot wife to a bunch of fucking dogs in a house.
Yeah, that's
just
what
don't
happens
do it.
when you
Or,
go.
or around Captain
That's what
Blackass.
happens. That's what happens when you play in the NBA.
To be fair, I've never played in the NBA or had a hot wife, so I don't
Whoa,
know.
whoa.
Listen,
Wow.
Nick.
Minority over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all speak from experience around,
Listen, Nick.
I've never been married
about the NBA.
or in the NBA.
Oh, well,
no
there you
experience in either or.
Oh, wow.
But
You told me you were in the NBA. I think our friendship's over now.
Yeah. This
That's
guy,
how
he,
I got him
he
here.
told me he played professionally. He didn't tell me what league, though. This guy over here said he
The
played
minor
ball.
leagues.
He played ball professionally. I'm like, oh, sweet. Like, it was the Pico Rivera Pilots,
But I think the Lakers are doing good. I think
they're doing
Julius
fantastic.
Randle's a good player.
So what I did promise on when I posted on Facebook today was
Sure.
I did want to talk about
Dodgers?
the Dodgers championship parade and what it's going to look like.
It's going to be
Do you-
beautiful.
where do you
you're
think
gonna fucking jinx them
where do you-
already
where do you-
before they even get started.
Where do you think it'll start?
Damn you.
And you think it'll City Hall to Dodger Stadium or Dodger Stadium to City Hall? I mean, they're close enough.
I think it
It's
It
goes.
won't
Dodger
start
Stadium
because
to
it's not
City
going to
Hall.
happen.
I think it.
So
I think it goes from.
can't have that. I can't have that negativity.
I think
Dodger
it goes
Stadium
from
to
Dodger
City Hall.
Stadium to the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh
No,
my god,
can't.
what the hell?
I think it has to
Listen,
end. I think it has
come
to
on.
end at Dodger
Listen,
Stadium.
If it goes
And
that way, we have
no,
to wear
okay,
those shorts.
then it goes from the stadium to the Rose Bowl.
And back again.
Then it goes around through downtown.
You know how many dead Mexicans you're gonna find on the streets?
Whoa!
Do we start at the Rose Bowl, then go to
They're
the
dead.
stadium?
Dead.
I mean,
No,
can
not
you
only
imagine?
riots
that, but
everywhere.
you're gonna find
Okay.
them at the bars in
Okay, you guys,
Alhambra at that point.
you guys remember the Lakers championship after they won the championship. The first one was Shaq and Kobe, right?
What
There
about
was
it?
over 1 million people out in front of Staples Center before they
Yeah.
had LA Live there.
Oh, yeah.
There was over 1 million
Oh, yeah.
people out there.
That was amazing.
I hate to tell you, the Dodger next championship is going to be about the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have to. I honestly believe they're going to have to be at Dodger Stadium in the parking lot, not on the field, but in the parking lot somewhere, and just let everyone just pile in.
Yep. No
Because
cars.
there's going to be so much demand to
No
be at that,
cars.
to be at that parade.
I was at the last one.
1988.
I walked that one.
I wasn't.
You walked
gonna lie to
you walked the parade?
I walked the parade.
Son of a bitch.
How's that?
How do I learn? How am I just learning this right now?
How is that, you
I thought I
guys?
told
How's
you.
that being like
I thought I told
that
you.
old?
I was.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like I accomplished
You know
something.
what I mean is I've never seen a Dodger championship, so I'm dying. I'm dying for it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Last year was as close as I got, and man,
Look,
it was sweet.
During that
But
time,
it hurt.
During that time was when the doctor told me I couldn't play baseball anymore because my position was catcher.
Oh, obviously.
And I couldn't.
We knew.
Yeah.
Goes without saying.
And I couldn't play that no more. So okay, fine, whatever, sure. So to watch that game and watch that series and these guys win that game, it was fantastic. Then when the parade was going to happen, I'm getting ready to go to school. My brother tells my mom, "Hey, we're going to go to the parade, and we're going to take this guy." And I'm like, "Shh, I'm going to miss school. It's fantastic."
That's all I care about.
Yeah. So
You were
we
what,
went-
about
well,
13,
I was
14?
11, 12, something, 88, 77 to 88, yeah. So, hey, listen, I'm walking, we're walking down one of the streets, I forget what street, but I look above, and one of the apartments or balcony of one of the apartments or offices is Fred Rogan.
Oh, wow.
The Dean of LA Sports.
Broadcasting from there, yeah. So I'm like, hey, I know you. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
It was fantastic. And got to City Hall. I didn't see shit because we were so far away. There was so many people. Yeah.
And they had just won 7 years ago.
So do they start at the San Gabriel Mission and then go to City Hall?
I think maybe they can start at the Ferris wheel on at Santa Monica
At the pier.
and then
Start
do
the
and then
Ferris
do
wheel.
reverse in honor of the marathon today. The reverse marathon route.
Reverse marathon it.
26 miles.
Let's do it.
Line the streets. All the fans can line
We
the
start
streets.
a petition now.
No, I say
because it's going to take some organizing. Because
listen, I say we start at Havana House in Whittier.
Yes,
and go to
and stay there, and just stay there so he doesn't have to move it because he gets his chair.
Plug.
He gets his stool. He gets his stool. You know,
Plug.
right there, guaranteed.
You're welcome, Havana House.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah. And
Our
by the way,
first sponsor.
No. Actually, our first sponsor is Rowdy's.
Rowdy's
Brewery, right down the street
think-
here at 6th
I
Street.
think we
love
should start
Rowdy's.
at Rowdy's and then start walking. all the way
We should start at Rowdy's.
Downtown
Start the
LA,
parade
City
at
Hall.
Rowdy's.
So tell you go to
There we
Rowdy's
go.
Brewery.
Okay.
Tell them that the boys from Chaotic Sports sent you over there, and they'll hook you up with an IPA or a Russian River Stout.
Which one? Oh, there you go.
Russian
love
Russian
that
River.
Oh,
Russian
that was a
River.
good one.
That was
I
actually
was trying to
that
think
was
about
really
that
good.
earlier.
it was
yeah.
the first Russian. It was
I
the
do
first
remember
stout.
that
Is that where you guys went, or
The
you
first
guys-
stout I ever liked.
That
Yes.
was
Yes.
very
It
nice.
was like a listen. By the way, guys. St. Patty's Day was yesterday.
Yeah. Did you guys wear green?
We only have like 2 minutes. So
I wore green, and I'm still feeling the effects of St. Patty's Day.
how old are you again?
Listen, Anna threw me out of Havana House.
Wow.
Like she was the owner. She said, "Get the fuck out of here." I'm like,
Okay.
I was.
What were you
sorry.
doing in a Cuban? What were we doing in a Cuban bar on St. Patrick's Day?
Were you dressed like a panda?
Cuban bar?
Yes, it is a Cuban bar.
What Cuban bar?
It is a Cuban. Havana is in Cuba. It is a Cuban bar.
Is it a bar?
You were,
Yes, it's a
you were
bar.
dressed as a
Then I don't
panda?
care.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I saw it. But you know, we've had brighter moments in the show all day today. I do want to appreciate. I do want to thank Pitsy and the Beard for joining us today, talking
Thank
about
you guys
soccer.
for having us.
We do appreciate you guys coming in.
Hey, you guys are welcome whenever you want to come.
Whoa.
I'll talk sports with you guys.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa,
You can come whenever you
We
want.
need to negotiate some shit first before we start offering out these offers. I'll talk to you tomorrow at the office, bro.
Sounds good.
All right,
I'll take
good.
that.
He
No,
doesn't
so-
make he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's
make
not
the
final
decisions
word,
around
yeah.
here?
Yeah, hold on. You
He's
stole
not
me
the
money,
final
so
word.
never mind.
We'll take this off the air.
Yes, we will.
thank you.
So we want to thank you all for listening to us for the last 2 hours, wasting 2 hours of your night with us. We are Chaotic Sports. We are here every weekend, 6 to 8 p.m. On Sunday nights. I am
You
the
forgot?
I am the Jew.
Did you
That's
forget?
that's Captain Blackass, and
That's
B
me.
is on his sitting in the fourth
He's
row
at
or
the
something at the
Clipper
Clipper
game.
game. Still the Slippers. Who cares? And again, we
Jesus.
want to thank Dutchy,
No respect.
Dutchy,
None.
Pitsy, and the Beard for joining us in this evening and saving our butts and actually making soccer interesting. You know, I'm going to keep on
I
talking.
learned a new word: relegation.
It's relegation.
Relegation.
Yeah, in the quadrant.
That's the way
Dutchy
we
said
did it.
quadrant. I was literally like, I've heard that word before.
That's
It's
what
a
we did in
field
the-
terminology kind
It's
of
just the quadrant is the field.
Just like, no, it's like a piece of the field. He's talking about specific. I don't know really the math involved. There's too many physics.
Yeah, I'm confused.
So yeah, but yeah,
I'm
I mean, it's like
confused.
the quadrant. I'm like, there's only 12 yards to the quadrant. I'm like, what the f is he talking
That's
about?
field stuff. I don't know. That's like some field soccer referee.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I'll talk Ronaldo and Messi and all that. You
Right.
know, that's good.
I try to
Manchester
talk.
City.
I try to talk some mess. Yeah, our boy Fernando at the Travaggio. He
Yeah.
told me to tell him that
At the what?
Travaggio. It's where we work. Yes.
Oh, Travaggio.
It's
Oh.
Jeremy for work.
That's what.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
Jesus
No, he
Christ.
told me to mess around. I told him I wanted to mess around with him. So he said, yeah, make sure you tell him
You're
that
gay, bro.
that that was it Ronaldo is from Brazil, and that Messi is from Uruguay because those are the team.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I know, but he says those are the Brazilians hate Portuguese apparently, and Uruguayans hate Argentinians.
I believe that to be true.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I said Chicharito was and the two of them got caught. I said the two of them got caught dressed up as Mick Jagger and David Bowie having gay sex together.
That's not true.
That's what I heard it.
Ronaldo and Messi.
Yes, I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying
I never heard that.
I heard it.
What are you watching?
I know. I heard it from my guy. This guy I know.
You heard it from a guy?
This guy named Fernando at the Travagio.
They sent it on my MySpace.
Yeah.
Sent a message on my MySpace.
News from MySpace.
Dude, we should bring it back. I think we should bring.
I don't think we can do that.
The tucked in shirts and the MySpace.
MySpace is dead.
I don't want to bring it
MySpace is a music site now.
It is. Yeah.
It's a music site.
It's only music.
It's like a little Spotify.
But that's what I kind of liked. I kind of liked it when it was.
We're brought to you by MySpace now.
Yeah,
I want to bring up another place.
You know, JT owns MySpace. So
Who's JT?
JT Justin Timberlake.
No
he
way.
bought MySpace for $1 million like 4 years ago.
What a bad investment.
Shit you not. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome. So
if I had $1 million, I wouldn't have bought MySpace.
You don't have $1 million?
Not to my name.
Not to your name. Winkety wink wink.
Hey, you guys be quiet. There's a Nick in the house.
There's a Nick in the house? There's a prick a ticket. Hold on, I turned you off because
it's I can't. Oh, here I am. Hey guys, how you doing?
That's the
welcome back.
I also think Justin Timberlake is fantastic looking.
Well, you're wearing a pleather jacket too.
I mean, pleather.
Pleather. Agreed. Yeah. You think I could afford leather? Come on,
H&M.
dude. Come on. Who the fuck you think I am? Justin Timberlake?
Where'd you buy it at? Forever 21.
Nordstrom's rack.
So yeah, no, but wearing pleather over there. I mean, fucking what's his name again? Pritiki? P in the corner. Pitsy.
Pitsy is
Yeah,
what the
P
name.
in the corner. Should we end the show in the same story again?
Yeah. Why don't you tell it again? But I'll tell it this time.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, he's been drinking for at least I know for 2 hours.
That you know.
That I know.
You know, man.
Yeah.
It's been like 5. Anyways. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's coming back. So that is all. No time for your story, Pitsy. Sorry.
time.
Lo siento. Bye
Well, you're
bye.
Nicaraguan.
See y'all next week.
Au
Ciao, ciao.
revoir.
All right, pick up your mess.